version of the logo.
All right. Well, it looks like we're live again.
All right.
I can hear the stream going. So that means we're back on air.
Thank you,
I'm just gonna
Kyle.
put it in the
Back,
chat.
everyone.
Don't thank me. Thank Diego. Thank Aslan.
Oh, thank Diego. Okay, I wasn't sure who it was.
He's the one streaming now.
I know you just asked me not to distract you, so I was like, I should thank him.
I should appreciate it.
I'd have given up. I would have been like, well, we're just not streaming today.
Okay.
It's exactly why I'm not in charge of it.
Yeah. It's exactly why I got someone else to do it. It takes a bit of the pressure off, you know. With that said, we begin. 2 weeks ago we wrapped off. Unfortunately, last week we didn't have an episode because I was traveling. But the last session that we had, the party first met with Mr. Ouijan in the morning, who gave them the quest, which was to retrieve a train from the tunnel. The train was stuck there as it went in with a team with an archaeologist, Dr. Feckfumble, who has since gone missing. The engineer, who would normally be in charge of repairing the train, is his brother, Mr. Feckfumble, and is now on strike until his brother is safely returned. This left Mr. Ouijan with basically not enough hands, and he felt the need to hire the party so that they could solve his little issue. The party then set out on the handcar to where the twisted rails were, where a team was supposed to be repairing the rails. Unfortunately, they found no team. Instead, they settled down for the night, hoping to head off the next morning, and were ambushed by a group of scorpions. They were able to bravely fend off the scorpions with some minor damage taken and a lot of issue thanks to the poison. Hey, Lula. And when they were able to finally defeat the scorpions, they were then surrounded by a group of beast folk, hedgehog folk to be specific. And luckily, Chief Spike, their leader, was friendly and also just looking for missing people that on a similar quest to what the party was in fact doing themselves. So he lent them a tracker to take them where his band had discovered a deputy, one that the sheriff's posse had ridden out with, who is now wounded and being left at a ranch to hopefully get some medical attention, some time to recover. The tracker is now leading the party towards this ranch. What does everybody want to do with their time?
Oh, we're on our way, right?
Indeed you are.
So John would approach Aslan, and he would say, he would whisper, so Aslan, what do you think of these people? Can they be trusted? I'm not so sure about them. He says as he narrows his eyes towards the tracker. He says, I think they might be leading us into a trap. What do you think?
Possible.
Would it be acceptable for Saul to overhear this?
Yeah,
Okay.
anyone could overhear this.
I think he's gonna kind of slide up like next to you from behind. I don't know. I'm picturing him with like maybe like some like hard salami or something, and he's like cutting like slices and eating it.
Mm-hmm.
And he offers you one.
So John like looks at the salami and he kind of like hesitates for a moment. He doesn't seem to think it's too delectable given his reaction. But he takes it regardless due to hunger.
Yeah, he takes a slice of salami, and then he's gonna.
Thanks.
Saul's going to look towards the tracker, then back at you, and give you a thumbs up.
He says, "It's good to know you have my back, Saul."
What do you want? Should we?
He's gonna shake his head. He's gonna point at everybody in our group, and then he's gonna point at the one tracker, and then he's gonna point back to where we met the chieftain, and then kind of expand his arms out.
Okay, understand. We all jumped the tracker.
No. He shakes his head frantically.
John says, "All right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll just wait and see. But keep your head on a swivel in the meantime. If he makes any funny moves, get ready to trounce him, boys and girl." He says it, looking to Lula.
Saul rolls his eyes theatrically and slips back.
So, as the party continues to march, the broken, thorny desert landscape changes from dunes and actual sand to more rocks and stone and shrubbery. And you start to notice as you guys approach the mountains, you see them rising before you, and you understand why they're called the Wave Mountains. They seem to almost bend with as if too much wind had hit them over and over, you know. And the closer you get to them, you start to see what look like long, small, thin, finger-like hills extend down from the mountains, as almost like roots from a tree. The tracker sort of leads you in this direction, and then he points towards an area between two of the hills where you see a small stream or maybe a creek running. It's full for this time of year. You know that the dry season hasn't really begun. You're in the middle of spring. It's April-ary in this world, and so you know that water running at this time of year isn't completely unreasonable. But he points you in this direction. He points you to the top of a hill, and on the top of the hill you see some sort of ramshackle, sheltery looking building. And with that, he turns around and he gives you a nod and he taps his forehead and starts walking off in the opposite direction, back from whence you all came.
Seeing these wavy mountains, Frank will look at them and say, maybe I've been holding his flask in his hand, will look at his flask and go, maybe I've been drinking too much. And he puts it away.
Saul's gonna take his slate and he's gonna write something down and hold it up for everybody. And it's gonna say, "Some ambushed."
Yeah. John looks at that and he says, "Yes, I suppose there is no ambush yet." And then
I'm gonna start,
go ahead.
I'm gonna start walking towards the cabin.
Saul would be the only one who knows this, but it's very customary to give gifts to people. It's not like payment. It's not like a tip. It's like a gift as a goodwill gesture.
Towards the guy, the tracker.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give him the. I think I've got like half a thing of salami here. I'm gonna hand it over. I'm gonna stop him, or walk over, tap him on the shoulder, hand him.
He looks at you and he goes, and he says in his own language, "Disgusting meat. How disrespectful." You're the only one who understands it, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
They're herbivores.
Okay.
I
He's
have
gonna
a question, actually.
Saul, what did you do?
He's gonna wave his hand.
Feral.
I'm gonna get like a little, like one of those. I think that he would probably have something like this. You know what? He's gonna hand over like a bag of tobacco instead, because I know he's got that.
Yeah, Saul can totally do that.
Yeah.
He's eating into your supplies, but he sees this and he goes, and he bows to you and does the same thing, touching his forehead.
I actually have a question. Since Aslan is also a beast folk, does he understand their dialect?
So most of the clans and the tribes have their own separate languages. But in Beast Folk Common, you would understand like the gist of what he got. You know, it's like a single language family where all of the root words are the same.
So the same as Saul, basically.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
Okay.
You wouldn't understand the apprehension because as a Leonin, but specifically as a Bloodfang, he would be the meat. What's disrespectful about that?
I don't get
it. So with that, he nods his head and he says a farewell and starts making his way off.
Safe travels, Spiky Man.
And would I know if that forehead touch thing would that be acceptable to do that back to them, or is that just for tribe members?
No, it's just a common gesture. It's the same. It's the same for us as like waving.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, Frank
Or
will
I'll
do
do
one of
it.
these.
All right.
He gives a small bow and then walks off into the desert.
All right. How's that shack look?
Yeah, let's go check it out.
It's just like across the creek, up a little bit of a hill, maybe a kilometer or two away, small enough in the distance that you can see it.
All right. I think Saul's going to try to motion to John. He's going to kind of put his hand up as if, like stay here. And then I'm going to try to sneak up there and just make sure there's nothing. I can tell you what I'm worried about if you want.
What are you looking out for?
I'm looking out for more of. I know we had that infected guy, and I know this guy was supposedly injured.
Yeah.
And so I'm scoping out that situation. I want to get a peek inside the cabin without being seen. Make sure the guy's like on the up and up.
Okay, so how far do you want to go? Because the cabin is just on the other side of the river. You guys are about maybe 2-3 kilometers, 2-3 miles out, something like that, like 2 miles out.
Oh,
So
we're okay. We're a ways off.
Yeah, he pointed to you guys where to cross the stream, and he pointed to you guys at the cabin at the top of the hill.
Okay, that's different then. I'm gonna wait to do that till we get to the cabin.
Okay.
On the way, can Frank kind of look out to see if there are no more of those. Frank's a little suspicious of the environment because he saw the scorpion like dig his way into the sand or whatever, and he's like kind of scoping around to see if there's not more of those hiding in the sand or something like that.
Okay, so you want to investigate. Saul wants to do perception. Am I gathering that correctly?
I don't even know if Saul wants to do that yet because he's more interested in the guy in the cabin.
I'd say Frank is more doing perception than investigation because he's just trying to see if there's not something hiding in the sand.
If you're like specifically looking around at the sand and whatever, I would say you're investigating it for clues. I would make you roll that, or I'd make you roll survival or nature. Which one do you want?
Let me see which one's the highest. So survival is definitely not it. Nature, or what was the other one? Investigation.
Investigation.
That was probably pretty high on you, right? Because you're intelligence based, caster.
Yeah, my investigation and nature are the same thing, so doesn't really matter to me. Let's say nature because I never roll nature.
Go ahead.
Clickety clack. That's not a very
see
good.
those numbers stack.
I rolled a 7.
Nice.
Lucky.
Let's get those low rolls out the way now.
I'm gonna say that after a while, you can definitely notice that the sand on your general direction towards the thing is disturbed. But with your low roll, you can't tell like what disturbed it. This could be a cart going past 3 days ago. This could be a team of horses. You have no clue.
Yeah, it's probably a high traffic area because of the water.
Yeah, I get you.
How close are we to this? You said it's a creek.
There's a creek, and then maybe 100 meters on the other side of the creek, on the top of a little rise, one of these finger hills. There is
100 meters or a kilometer?
So you guys are probably about 2 kilometers from the creek, 2.5 kilometers from the little shack on the top of the hill, right? The creek is maybe like 100, 200 meters. Not even, man. It's like the creek is just below the hill where this little shack is on.
I got an idea, but yeah. I'll just
around the shack. You guys notice there's some trees and there's some crop fields and some corn and something that's blooming with little pink flowers. It looks like there's some sort of farm going on there. It's ramshackle, but it still looks functional.
I'll start heading. I would like to head towards the part of the creek that he said was safe to cross. I guess it's a pretty good sized creek, or is it
It's not insignificant, but the part that he said that's safe to cross, the water literally flows to a trickle, and the wet, muddy, sandy part of it is only about 30 feet across.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I'll start heading that direction.
And Saul had beckoned the rest of us to stay behind while you scout ahead.
No, I retconned that because I thought we were right on the cabin.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'm probably going to do that.
Yeah, well,
Once we get to the cabin, I'll probably do that.
Okay,
John would like approach the start of like the creek, the riverbed, and he's gonna look to Aslan and he says, "Hey Aslan, can I climb on your shoulders?"
If anyone should be climbing on anyone's shoulders, I think it should be the smallest guy here.
He says,
Frank's
"Well,
Frank
I already have dibs on Aslan, so you'll have to get your own piggyback." He says as he smirks, and then he like goes to try and hop on Aslan's back.
I can take both.
Thank you, kind sir, as he like goes over to Aslan to be picked up in whatever way.
So little one.
So John's like, he's trying to like climb all over him and like get on top of his shoulders.
Okay. And then I guess he'll pick up Frank and he'll put him on top of John.
Put him on top of John?
Yeah.
Wait, how does that work?
Just to clarify, this is before you guys get to the creek, right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, this is like as you're like going across. It's only like a foot, maybe 2 feet deep.
It doesn't matter.
Might have a bit of an issue.
Don't want to get wet. What?
Okay.
That's about half of Frank.
Just clarifying. Just clarifying.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say, John, he like climbs over, climbs up Aslan's mane and everything, and then he goes and sits on his shoulder. Then Aslan grabs Frank and like puts him up, and he goes like put him on top. But I guess his arm wouldn't reach, so instead, like John goes and grabs Frank and just puts him like on his leg, kind of like sitting on his lap while he's sitting on Aslan's shoulder.
You can see Frank being like visibly annoyed at this charade of getting on top of somebody, but it's better than being drowned 66% of the way. So
John says, "Well, don't look at me like that. You're the one that insisted on getting up on Aslan. I called shotgun, and you didn't respect the shotgun. But it's
Lula is just rubbing the bridge of her nose. Just why?
Saul looks at Lula as if to say, "Why don't you ever carry me around like that? I'm just a little old man."
With those puppy dog eyes.
We can't hear you.
You never ask. You never ask.
Saul laughs and keeps on walking.
So, as you guys put your feet in the creek, the water is rather chilly. And it seems to be cold, running off the snowmelt of the mountains. And you cross with no incident. But as you make it to the other side, the sand seems to be a bit heavier. And Aslan, you need to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Oh no.
Oh no.
How easy is that with two
You
people?
better not fail this.
17.
Yeah, you're holding two people.
Aslan gives a bit of a slip, gives a bit of a in the sand and the mud of the river, but doesn't fall, maintains its stability. And as you guys get to the other side of the river, you hear as a shot flies over your heads. And called out, as you look through the fields, there's a bit of a worn trail. And on the other side, you notice that where the path goes up the hill and there's like somewhat of a slope, there are hay bales and sacks piled on the other end. You notice a single barrel sticking out from the left-hand side. The other barrel, smoking from the bullet it just shot at you, sticking out from the right-hand side. And you hear a voice call across the space in between. Excuse me, this is private property. So I would state your goddamn business or get the fuck off.
It's an ambush.
You notice another gun come to the other right-hand side, and the first one goes away.
John puts his hands up and he says,
on top of Aslan.
Yeah, on top of Aslan.
Frank would jump off of Aslan.
Dexterity saving throw to see if you fall off. Raising your hand.
They would look at this group of people and think, these people are a threat. We should shoot first.
It's an 8. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, he got an 8.
Okay, I just wanted a 10 from you to not fall off. You start slipping for sure.
Frank, as soon as we crossed the riverbed, would jump off and stand.
I heard. So John, they shoot and then they say that. John puts his hands up and he says, "Don't shoot them!" And then he falls off backwards off of Aslan's shoulder, hits the ground with a thud as you see the dust fucking disperse around him.
Lol.
He's like, oh, and then you hear him coughing, and then he gets up and dusts himself off, and then he puts his hands back up again and he says, "Don't shoot. We come in peace."
Anybody want to say anything else?
I think Saul's just going to take cover. He's got a very healthy fear of guns.
Mm-hmm.
Lula's going to respond to that little warning, saying, "Well, it's not very welcoming to shoot strangers that just want a little bit of assistance there."
You see the first barrel, now seemingly reloaded, gets put back on top of the hay bale and sacks that it was piled between. And the voice calls back again. Then, well, maybe strangers should stop being so strange?
All right, we can stop being strange. My name's Lula. I'm here with my friends, and we just want to know some information. That's all. Put the goddamn guns away before things get nasty, please.
Frank will also start to speak up and say, "We heard there was an injured man around here that we came to check out. We're trying to save somebody."
What business is that of yours?
What was this guy again? He was like
business of righteousness and goodness for the goodness of mankind.
That's right.
Saul is going to load his gun. His confidence in negotiations is quickly running out.
You guys don't look like the righteous kind.
Well, we've also been
all
hired.
sizes.
We've also been hired.
Nick, what is this guy again that's like injured and dropped off at a camp or whatever?
He's one of the deputies.
He's a deputy, that's right.
Okay.
Look, lady, if we were bandits, do you think we'd be entertaining this conversation right now? Put the goddamn guns away and let us just access this area, please.
Well,
it's very easy to talk down the barrel of a gun. And you see, like the rifle being adjusted, and the other one to the right being adjusted a little bit as well.
So that's what you are. Oh God!
Repeat yourself. Sorry. So what you guys can see is literally like there's hay bales piled, and then there's sandbag or like sacks of heavy things like piled in between. You even see like an old upturned wheelbarrow on one side of it. There's a gun barrel poking out. There's a gun barrel poking out on the left, and there's 2 on the right.
Okay. Can I like feasibly aim at somebody?
The only thing that's vaguely visible is the gun barrels poking out of the
hay bales.
Yeah.
Okay. Frank would like to would grab his gun and start aiming at one of the hay bales and say, "You're right. Now let's talk."
I would put your gun down before you guys get sprayed.
Okay,
you notice? Not gonna put your gun down?
Nope. Frank is just gonna stand there.
John is gonna say, "Frank, let us show some good faith, shall we?" He says, trying to gesture his gun down. He says, "Maybe I should speak with them. Allow me." And then he walks forward like with his hands up and he says, "I'm coming over to speak with you and explain the situation further, if that's okay."
Don't come any closer until all of your friends have put their firearms on the ground.
Surely just holstering them is enough. Wouldn't want their tools to get ruined. Now, would we?
I'm not talking to you with the gun pointed at me, and then the gun is pointed directly at you. at John.
So yeah, so he looks over like his shoulders to the other ones, and he's like, so can we lower our weapons?
So
Speak like
Frank,
people. We are we're not really guests here, but we are on their land. I think it's understandable for them to be apprehensive of strangers.
So Saul is gonna hold his. He's got his back to a tree right now. He's gonna hold his gun out like this, with his fingers off the trigger, and he's gonna
we can't really
make a
see
real
it.
show of lowering it down on the ground and putting his hand back up.
Frank, after having slightly lowered his barrel down from John saying to put his gun down, and hearing this all commotion going on, he'll do like a spinny move and just put it back into his holster, and then confidently just walk behind Aslan. It's just he does not like a barrel in his face. He's walking behind Aslan.
So, so upon seeing this, John turns back to the barrels and the bales of hay, and he says, "Look, we come from a Tenton. We're here to find a missing worker, an architect to be exact. We heard that you had found an injured traveler. Chief Spike had told us so. Back in where those damn scorpions and all the bones lay. And then he had one of his trackers guide us here, so we could speak to this person, which you've rescued, or so we've heard. And this is why we are here. We are not here to fight. And by the way, my name is John Morello. I come from a Baygate, along with my other friend here, Frank Whitestone. And we also have Lula Knucklehead and Saul.
You can't see Frank behind Aslan. He just points towards Aslan, basically.
Yeah. They come from the outskirts of Tenton. Their pa has a ranch there.
That's an awful pretty story, Mr. Morello.
He says, well, it's more than a story. 'Tis the truth. Now, we've put away our weapons. We mean you no threats. Can we now speak as gentlemen?
We walk up.
So, from behind the barricades, in the small gap in between, which seems to be just an inch away, no wider than a cart, a half-orcish woman steps up. She is beautiful in the way that a big, tough, strong woman is. She has on her two tusks, one has a ring around it. On her eyes, she has some rings as well. You notice there's a bit of jewelry on her fingers. And in her hands, she's holding one of the hammerlock muskets that some of you might be familiar with. You notice, and any of you looking at just her now, that the two other guns haven't seemed to move the entire time. And she steps forth into the middle and says to you guys, you say that Chief Spike and the Hedgehogkin sent you here?
Just so. They said something about a wounded traveler was brought here. Something like that.
Okay, well, but what do you want with him?
We're just looking to see if it's our man, or if he knows anything about our missing person.
And just in general, just to help him out.
Okay, well, he's been put in my care. So what do you want to do with him? You don't look like the healing type. She's looking at you guys with open worry and disdain. You get the feeling this woman has some experience.
He says, we're literally just trying to talk to him and to see what he knows.
Frank will walk from behind Aslan and say, as far as healing is concerned, we can do some ourselves.
And John would also finish off by saying, "Now, please let us speak to him. He is not your prisoner, is he?"
No, but he's a guest, and you are strange strangers.
He says, "Yes, worry not. In Bege, I'm not used to meeting a person on the other end of a barrel off the bat. So the situation is strange to me as well."
She looks very clearly at the Leonin with a little bit of worry, and then looks at Saul and goes, "City folk."
Oh,
No, she's looking at you with worry.
it's okay.
So,
It's okay. I'm not from the city.
Saul's gonna keep his hand
she looks you up and down and goes, "Yeah, that wasn't obvious."
Oh,
Watch your tongue there, lady. This is our friend.
Saul's
Yes,
gonna
the-
make a show of recovering his gun. Like he's still doing it with like 2 fingers, so it's not a threat. He's gonna be holding it by the barrel. He's gonna walk up to her and hand it over to her.
She is now tentatively holding the gun over her shoulder. But her finger seems pretty firm on the trigger, and you guys get the impression that if it really came down to it, she would have her rifle aimed at you as quickly as you would have any of your pistols aimed at her.
Mhm.
She
Does she
definitely
take-
walks with an air of confidence, and
Mhm.
this isn't her first rodeo.
Right. Does she take issue with me approaching her?
Not particularly.
Okay. He's gonna try to hand her his gun. And then nod towards the cabin.
As you try and do this, she'll sort of go like, if you want me to hold that dirty little smelly thing, like, I'd rather not."
Yeah. He shrugs and starts moving towards the cabin.
So as you guys mount this small little thing and you go between the two hay bales that make up the ramshackle door, you find yourselves in a like muddy, mucky farmstead area. There's a little like off-cut wood fence around it that's very rough. And inside there is a small shack, which was the one that you saw from on the top of the hill from a distance, and then an even smaller, like little ramshackle barn. That literally the walls are much lower than Aslan's head, and it seems to be a building that's been constructed out of sod and timber with a little thatched roof on top of it. She points over there and she goes, "He's like lying on the hay bales. I thought it would be comfy."
Okay.
Inside the little farmyard area, there's some sheep, and you notice that there's at least one milk cow. You can hear mooing from inside the barn. There's chickens running around. There's a little veggie garden. It's messy but pretty functional. It seems that people might actually live here, some sort of homestead, you know.
Okay.
Oh. So
How would you
she's
go?
good letting us go in?
She's pointed you guys over towards the
Okay.
barn and told you that he's sleeping on the hay. She's watching you guys from behind. She's not just like sort of letting you guys go in as you like.
Okay. So he looks at her and smilingly says, "Our thanks." And then he walks over to the barn and goes within.
Okay. Inside the barn, it's
I think yes is okay. There he is.
did Yessa crash for a second?
Yeah.
My laptop's overheating.
Okay.
That's
Just
fine.
make sure you have put something underneath it.
I already have. It's just that it's too warm. It's just
Yeah,
straight up too warm in here.
It's just a hot day in the Netherlands.
Yeah,
I've seen some
I'm
stuff.
trying. I'm trying to get some stuff to like be cold to put on top of it, but I have to like re-put it in the fridge and put it back on. So trying to make it work.
That's okay. We're not professionals here. We're just having fun. So as you guys enter the barn, it's a low roofed little sod building. It's literally made out of what looks like it's mud and daub. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's literally animal manure and mud, clay, sand, and straw mixed together and then piled against like a wooden frame. And it's not lime washed, it's not painted, nothing. It's literally just earthen. Inside there are some broken tools and what looks like a half repaired cart. And then in the corner on like a big pile of hay that looks like it might be being like what's left over from the winter, there is a figure, a body lying there, seemingly wrapped up amongst some quilts and blankets.
Hello? Are you awake?
There's no response.
Are you alive? And I guess John holds his breath and attentively approaches the laying figure, and he has like a hand out, like as he approaches. He's like,
Frank will assume a defensive dodging stance upon seeing him going forward to this, having flashbacks from not too long ago and not wanting the same to happen.
Yeah, you can definitely those watching can definitely sense John's tension as he goes to like pull away the quilt, one of the quilts or the blanket, and he's like, "Hello, are you okay?"
You pull away the blanket, and as you do, the figure inside moans slightly. And you see,
Oh gods!
You see a halfling covered in bandages and burns, and they're blood-soaked and gory. And while there's no, it doesn't like stink. There's clearly a scent of decay, and this guy is not looking so healthy.
Does this look at all similar to what Saul?
How close are you? How close are you?
I'm getting real close. I've been next to John every step of the way. The guy, I'm worried about the man. I'm worried he'll get split in half by something if I'm not there to stop it.
As you examine closer, you notice that the flesh is burnt, singed, charred.
Does it look the same as the other guy that was burnt in like the city?
Yeah, that's
you don't know.
Well, that's what I was asking.
Saul would notice that it doesn't look as pink and raw. It looks more like the skin has tried to scab and.
So this looks like more of a traditional burn.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks extra crispy.
Oh,
okay, I got
crispy.
Can I do a medicine check to like try to treat him? I would think that Saul maybe has a lot of understanding of how to treat burns.
Of course.
Okay. I'm going to roll medicine. I was so close to a 19. It's a 14.
14 total?
Yes.
Yep. As you're examining him, you notice that it's burns. They could a salve would really help, maybe some aloe vera, that sort of thing. But specifically what you noticed is under the blood-soaked bandages and the wrappings around his form, unlike the previous body that you dealt with, his eyes are still there, and they're closed, and they're heavily burned, but they're still in place. Okay. And whereas the body before seemed to have these cut marks and cauterized wounds all over them, this figure doesn't.
Gotcha. Okay. He's gonna step back and nod towards Frank, try to motion him over.
Frank will slowly approach, but before he does, he'll look over to what you said she was an orc?
Half orc.
Half orc. I'll look over to her.
She's outside the barn, right?
Is she?
none of she's if all of you guys have entered inside, because no one was being specific about it, she is standing at the doorway with her gun propped against the thing and like looking over, seeing what you guys are doing.
What's her name?
So Frank will look over.
You didn't ask. Maybe you should ask in character.
Yeah.
So Frank will look over to her and say, so what happened to him? Can you tell us a little bit about the state that he came in here? What'd you do to him?
And what's your name?
She looks
Perhaps
over and
your
goes,
name.
"Well, Miss Lula, if you must know, my name is Mrs. Hill. Suzanne Hill. You can call me Mrs. Hill." Oh, fuck, I changed the accent. Sorry, guys.
Right.
Well, Miss Lula, you can, like, call me Mrs. Hill. Suzanne Hill. Sorry.
Pleasure.
Good job, bro.
My brain switched
Okay.
gears for a second.
It's okay. All right.
And then she'll look over to Frank and go, he like came in here like that. I just change the bandages whenever they start to be too, ew.
Do you know what happened to him?
He looks like he got thrown in a fire, but they just brought him in here. I don't know. Maybe you should ask him. And then she looks at him.
Okay.
Like,
does this man even seem conscious?
he's conscious, and moving the blankets definitely disturbed his form enough that he was in pain from it a little bit.
Well, Frank will approach him and take a good look at him to make sure he's not going to attack Frank like the other did. If I like take a good look at him, what do I? Is there something that Frank would notice that he could do something about? Like if I use cure wounds on him, would that make a difference or something?
Magical healing always helps. You get the feeling, because you've used the spell before and you understand the arcane nature of it, that cure wounds wouldn't be able to solve the issue, but it would definitely get rid of like all of the currently, like anything that's currently damaged and being hurt. You know that like the burns would severely decrease with the cure wound spell. It wouldn't be able to completely get rid of them, depending on how much you healed, but you know that it would alleviate a lot of the suffering.
Okay. Well, Frank will go over to him and like I said, take a good look, and then just is he still uncovered? Is there something like a body part I can touch or something?
You guys uncovered the top half of this poor halfling's body, right?
Right?
Yeah.
So he'll just like, hold him like on the shoulder here and just touch him. Glowing light emits, and I'll cast Cure Wounds on him.
Are there no somatic and verbal components?
There is. I have to. Oh, there's verbal and somatic.
So what do you say? What do we see?
So, like I said, he puts the hand on him, and a little light starts to glow from his hand, and you can see his wounds clearly getting better, and you can see Frank. Frank just says, "There you go, buddy," as the spell gets cast.
You notice that his wounds and his condition seems to immediately improve. Though, like I said, there's still the extra crispy parts on the skin. The open scabs and like flesh wounds or whatever seem to seal with the cure wounds. And for a second, you hear his body go, and he takes this deep, relieved breath before finally waking up. And you see him, and like the cloth somewhat shake from his eyes where they'd been loosened by Saul's medical examination. And a single bright green eye looks out at all of you and goes, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
It was maximum healing, by the way, from the cure wounds.
So how much was it total?
11.
That doesn't quite get him to max health, but it's close enough that you notice like even the extra crispy parts of his body, like the dead and burnt off crispy charred flesh, seems to like be taken over by the new skin growing underneath and almost like fades away. The magical healing has really done a lot for him.
I imagine the burnt skin like flaking off, like falling on the ground.
Yeah.
Gross.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was
Nasty.
thinking.
So John will look down at him and say, there. We come from Tenton, little fella. And we were looking to investigate the tunnels to the south. We thought that you might have come from there. Would you mind explaining to us what happened to you?
His single eye is like glancing around the room and looking at all of you, and he goes, "Who the fuck are you calling little, mate?"
He shrugs and smiles and he says, "Well, I suppose it's relative, right?"
So he's taller than Frank, right?
Halfling. Okay, so D&D gnomes are supposed to be taller. In my world, canonically, this is fact. Gnomes are shorter than halflings. Gnomes are short, pudgy little things. That's why they don't get the nimbleness. And they all, the reason that they're supposedly taller is because they all culturally wear big, tall hats to make themselves seem bigger.
Okay, so Frank will look very disdain towards John at the comment of this halfling being small, considering this halfling is taller than him.
So he says, "But that's not what's important, is it? What's important is, you telling us what happened to you."
You say you came from Tenton, did you?
Yes.
I've been in the tunnels, and he like sort of looks around. He goes and looks to the person who healed him, and he you would have seen the last of his arcane glow, and he goes, "Thank you. That was some fine magic you got."
Frank will just bow his head a little.
I'm Who are you?
Is he looking at Frank?
He looks around at the whole group, like this guy's just woken up from nearly a coma. He's a little bit dazed and confused. He's looking around at all of you and going, "Who are you?"
John shrugs and looks around to the gathered and he says, we're friends and companions. We've been hired by Mr. Weejan to come figure out what's happening in his tunnels."
"Aye, Mr. Weejan sent you. Okay."
Indeed.
And he looks around and he goes, "What about the sheriff?"
John shakes his head and says, "I'm afraid he didn't make it. He turned into some kind of monster, and we were forced to fight him. He grew tentacles, and he wasn't even recognizable anymore. I'm sorry, little one."
With this, you see first like shame and like a little bit of sadness at hearing that the sheriff is dead, and what almost looks like guilt then passes across his face, and for a second you see terror in his eyes, and he goes, "Oh shite." Seems to quiver.
What is it? What do you know?
Well, the sheriff, we were by the tunnels, and there was a bright light, and it burned, and it hurt so much, and I could hear the sheriff screaming, and...
Bright light? What colored light?
He looks at you. What color? Yellow,
Yes.
yellow, blue, white, yellow, blue. Like he's just flashing. You can see like this just shock across his face, and the bandages seem to slip down more, and it just shows the more like the absolute terror that's in this poor little halfling's eyes.
This description he's giving, this kind of matches what Saul and Lula encountered, right?
Well, I guess you'll have to find a way for Saul to express that, won't you?
I'm asking you if, because I'm having trouble remembering. That's the same like the description is similar, right?
You guys don't remember any blue or white light.
Okay.
Yeah, it was more like reddish.
It's more yellow.
Orange. Yeah.
But what he says about the way that the light, you know how he's saying like, and the light, it came and it pulsed and it was burning, and as he's like mumbling through this, the pulsating and the descriptions,
Right.
you know.
Saul is going to lock eyes with Lula at this point.
Yeah.
He's gonna lock eyes with her and kind of acknowledge, like, hey, pay attention.
Yeah. And John would pull out a little black booklet, and he would just be like frenetically writing into it, taking notes or something.
So this description, does it match the one that John, Aslan, and Frank fought as well?
Do you know what? Maybe you guys should take notes and stop asking me if my descriptions are the same description.
I'm just confirming it.
Well,
Because I remember it being
it
was more red than yellow, wasn't it? I remember the pulsating and stuff is somewhat similar. So upon
there was
hearing this
definitely no
description-
blue or white light when you guys experienced it.
No,
that's for sure.
Exactly. But Frank will look over at John and say, pulsating, burning, that sounds familiar.
Yes, I do think we maybe encountered something similar, but he looks over to the halfling, looking over his injuries. You know, not as bad now as they were, but still somewhat present. And he says, though we fared better against it, but clearly this all seems to be connected. He like scrolls through his booklet. And he's like reading notes and stuff like that.
So
and, he seems to be thinking as his brows like screw.
As you're saying this, his like mumbling of and the light and the power and from the sky and the rumbling and the pulsing and he seems to crack for a second. As you say this, like you notice tears just stream down from his eyes, and he stops for a second and just goes, and then it all went black.
And you were with the sheriff when this all happened?
He looks at you, shakes his head, and then, as if overcome by like a sudden wave of exhaustion, just falls into the bed and his eyes close again.
Ah, drat. Guess that might be all we'll be getting out of him for now. He looks to the others and he says, I think we should let him rest. How about we head outside and we can speak with Miss Hill.
So as you're saying this, Mrs. Hill is still standing in the doorway and she goes, it's Mrs. Hill?
So what time of day is it right now?
It's probably mid to late afternoon, 2, 3, 4 p.m., something like that, 4 p.m. maybe. The sun is definitely starting to dip in the sky.
Okay.
So, Mrs. Hill, would you mind if we, would you have a place for us to spend the night here?
You guys seem legit, and like that magic was pretty impressive. So if you want to camp, you can stay in the barn or maybe over there. And she like points towards like a more open lot amongst like a more open space amongst the mess of the barn, the ramshackle farmyard.
Okay.
So you said something about broken tools earlier, right?
Yeah.
So Frank will look over to those and say, well, in exchange, I could help you with some of your tools there. I'm sure we can get some of them working better than they are and in a better condition than they are now. And then I'll start walking over to the tools.
It's like, what are you talking about? I was like working on it. You can see there's a hammer on her belt. She's wearing like an apron, and she seems to be wearing like work clothes.
So Frank would just.
But you notice her hands are suspiciously clean.
I'm working on it.
So Frank would go up to one of the like half-broken tools or something that's she was working on, and he'll cast mending on it.
Cool. That works.
Just glancing around this place, does she have kind of like I know our farm setup had like a like kind of like a forge and workstation. Does she have something like that here?
You glancing around the farmyard, you notice that there's a chimney on the other house building.
Okay.
No, you're not getting it that easy. Saul needs to do some explaining.
I know. He's gonna because Lula's never told them about our experience, right? I'm
No.
remembering that, right? Okay.
No.
He's gonna grab Lula by the shoulder and like, does she keep like her astral knuckles like on her, or does she have it like in her belt loop or something?
Currently, it's on my belt loop.
Okay, he's gonna take that and he's gonna like wag it at her and look at her
Okay.
expectantly.
Oh, you want me to tell the other guys what we experienced, right? All right, okay. Yeah. I guess this is a good time because whatever happened to poor Burnt McGee over there, kind of sounds similar to what we experienced as well. So before we left Paul's farm, uh, Soul and I had a problem with the skinkers, and they kept on disappearing. And then we decided to keep watch at night. And then next thing you know, there's just a light from the forest, and then that light disappears, and then it comes closer to the ranch, and then in the ranch we kind of see this orb in the sky, and it flies around, and then it disappears. So Soul and I decided to follow it, and at the edge of the forest, it attacks us, and you know, bullets don't work, belly flops don't work, and it just wrecked us, like just absolutely electricity and a whole lot of pain, in all honesty. So we had to lick our wounds and go back during the day, and when we did, we went to where that old thing probably originated from, and um, it was like a crater of some kind, and there was like silver dust all over the place. And Saul managed to collect some, and he managed to craft me this here brass knuckle, iron knuckle, and yeah, we decided to wait out at the site and wait for that son bitch to originate once again. And once we did that, Soul and I engaged it again. Soul from the trees, busy popping shots, and
Paul's gonna hold up one of his silver bullets. It has looks like it's like a homemade silver bullet, and it's got like a celestial rune etched into it.
yeah, and those bullets that Soul's holding up right now, that did a hell of a lot of damage to it, and so did this here iron knuckle. And thankfully, just keeping that iron knuckle inside that orb son of a bitch managed to, I guess you would say, disappear it. Yeah, disappear it. And that's what we experienced. Now, is it the same as what Burnt McGee experienced in the tunnel, along with the sheriff? What do you guys think?
I don't think so. It also sounds like the creature that you encountered, or whatever it was similar, but not exactly the same as what we encountered. Ours was a yellow, orange, and red sphere of flaming fire,
Yeah,
and it would release pulses of some kind of sickness. I don't know. Made us
yeah, yeah.
near made Frank shit his pants.
Yeah, that same thing happened to Saul. He got all nausea like and all that jazz. And like it just went boof boof and it was
So
crazy.
Frank, upon hearing this remark from John, will stop his mending all of the tools and come over and say, "What do you mean shit my pants, motherfucker? You're the one who was running."
And and John responds with, Yes, and that's why I didn't nearly shit my pants. I was smart enough not to get close to that thing. But you're mighty brave yourself, Frank, and I appreciate you for it. He says as he smiles and inches over a little bit to pat him on the back.
Frank will just look with at this disdained look, and then he'll look over at Lula and say, "But yeah, we had the same issue. Regular weapons did not work." And he points over to Aslan, and says, "His stuff didn't do anything. It's kind of useless in that fight, but."
Wait,
Saul is gonna pick up his slate and write forge and hand it over to Lula.
What do we want to do this again here, Saul?
He's gonna rub it out, frustrated, and etch silver forge.
Now I get you. Why didn't you say so from the beginning? Soul here is saying that probably we need to make some type of silver weapons just in case we come across this orb some bitch. No, not just in case. We're gonna come across that orb some bitch in the tunnels, and having some silver will make our days a hell of a lot better. Does anyone have any silver? Can we ask the missus if she has some silver?
She's like, she's standing in the background listening to this conversation, and as she goes, I knew you guys were here to rob me, but like that's the weirdest robbery I've ever heard in my entire life. And she's like holding the gun up, but it's not exactly pointed at you. She's just kind of confused.
No, man. You misunderstand us. We're not here to rob you. We're just wondering if you have any spare silver. No need to worry about it. We'll figure it out.
Are you like trying to ask me if I have some spare change? Because it's no.
That's all right. That's totally fine. No need to worry, man. No need to worry.
She like sort of mumbles to herself. I knew they looked like hobos, but gosh.
So
All
Saul is
right.
going to tap the forge on the slate again, exasperatedly, and gesture towards Miss Hill.
Miss Hill, can we please?
It's Mrs. Hill. Excuse you, I'm married. And she like shows off a ring.
Apologies, Mrs. Hill.
Is it a silver ring?
It seems to be gold.
Oh, too bad.
Upon seeing this ring, you can see Frank kind of just exit out of this situation a little bit and go back to mending, and just he seems a little sad.
Too bad, man.
So John chuckles and shakes his head and says, "Yep, I guess we don't have the silver and we don't have the forge. But Frank here, he's mighty handy with that hammer of his. Perhaps he could do something for you.
If you give me enough time, I can help you fellas to some one of you to some magical weapons. Well, weapons imbued with some of my magic at least. It's gonna take me a while. Gonna need a place to rest.
Soul can help as well.
Well, we have time tonight. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe we should stick with the barn. I'd rather not be exposed to the elements if I can help it. What do you guys think?
Saul nods and saunters off into the barn.
Yeah.
I like bring the dinner over here. I can't have you guys in my house with a woman alone. Like, what would my husband think?
I'm a woman too. What are you trying to say here?
She sort of like takes this into consideration and looks at you and goes, Miss Lula, would you like to stay inside with me? It's a little nicer than out here amongst these strangers.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Hill. These strangers here have been accompanying me and protecting me throughout these travels. I appreciate the gesture, but I think I'll stick with them.
It's Mrs. Hill. Okay,
I thought I said that. My bad.
I'm going to go and make the stew. and she saunters off, seemingly to trust you guys a little bit more now with your seeming incompetence.
She doesn't care about the fact that Frank is fixing her tools.
She appreciated that, but she was also like said that she was on it.
Simping ain't easy, buddy.
It's not what it. Okay. You guys will figure it out later. I'm not gonna get into it now.
Okay.
But also, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can see that Frank's mending of these tools does a little bit of a better job than what she could do herself.
Standard, yeah. Of course, you're using magic.
Cheater.
So, what would as evening is falling and the sun starts to set lower and lower in the sky, she's going to feed you guys a meal. It's a very, very simple lamb stew. Sorry, not lamb. Yeah, it's lamb. Lamb is a baby sheep, right? Anyway, with some coarsely baked bread. Every time, Lutundo. Okay. With some coarsely baked farm bread, and the sun sets, the blue of the sky fades to orange, and then and then into bright pink and purple, and finally blue again as it fades into navy and dark, and the sun and the sky sets upon the sky, the sun dipping over the horizon. What does everybody want to do as they wrap up the evening?
So John is gonna grab some hay and he's gonna put it push it up against as a pile up in to like a corner somewhere to make himself a bed. If there's not a lot of hay, then he'll probably grab like most of it to guarantee that his bed is made.
There's enough.
All right, cool. And then beyond that, I think he would like scribble in his book, and that's it for him.
Okay.
So Frank would want to talk to Aslan or Lula or Saul about the weapon he wants to imbue with his magical power.
Okay.
So he just yeah.
Okay, let's get to that in a second. Is Saul gonna do anything about finding this forge before we continue on?
No, I think
We don't have the silver, right?
Yeah, I think because I know John said like, well, we don't have silver and we don't have a forge, and she didn't say anything. So I think he's going to take that as like either she doesn't have a forge or she's not really interested in sharing one, which is fine. What I do think he's going to do is because he knows Frank, is well connected with this sort of thing. Frank might catch him going through Frank's tools looking for a crucible. Because I do have about 50 silver. I think I should clear that up with you. I've got 5 gold, but I think Saul would have like broken that down into silver when he was in town. But that's up to you if you don't think that
you can have 20 silver and take away 2 gold.
Okay, that's fair. I wanted to be honest.
That's fair. So Frank wants to have this conversation with everybody about who wants a magical weapon. Is that like sort of a after dinner conversation?
Talk about it during dinner.
Yeah, talk about it during dinner. It came up he'll before nightfall because he's gonna work on it during his long rest. He's gonna need to have that information before he does it. So that's when he'll do it. But if Saul is gonna go through his stuff, he will definitely do something about that and ask him what the fuck he's doing. So as soon as he sees it, he's like, "Hey, what are you doing? It's mine."
Do I find what I'm looking for?
What is
not before he catches you?
Not before he catches me. I'm gonna like straighten up and look at him and like point at the tool bag, and then I think I still got forge written on my slate. I'm gonna hold it up and then just keep looking through his stuff.
A crucible is like a pot in which you melt metal.
That's right.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that he would Frank have that. I'm assuming so, right?
You have a
Tinker's tools?
blacksmith kit, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you've
And
got
it'll be in
black-
your blacksmith tools.
Yeah, the blacksmith too. That's what I meant. But yeah, he would looking at the thing, he would still like physically stop him from going through his stuff, and
Okay.
and just like grab his hand and just go, hold on there, buddy. Just tell me what you need. Forge what? What do you? What's the grand plan here?
I'm gonna
Write it
hand him a
down.
bag. I'm gonna hand him a bag of my 20 silver.
Frank will look at it with confusion.
Frank,
I am
I think
confused.
he wants more silver bullets. I imagine.
You want more silver? We can fix. Of course, my friend. I see. You're looking
Hey,
for a crucible, my man. Okay. And
He
I'll like
nods, but he
grab
shakes his head. He points at Aslan and his axes.
Okay. Well, Frank will grab the was it crucible?
Crucible.
Destiny 2.
He'll grab one of those and like this one. Okay, and then he'll hand it to Saul with his silver stuff back, and say, "You need any help? Or you gonna be all right?"
He thinks about it, and then he hands it back to you, and as well as the silver, and then he goes over to Aslan. He looks up at Aslan and looks back down to where he keeps like his axes, and he gestures to the axes. He points to the crucible, then to the axes.
Hey, big man, you want some iron on your axes or silver on your axes?
Okay. Unstrap hand axes.
Okay. He'll awkwardly hand them over to Frank.
So, John looks over and he says, "Are we sure this is gonna work?"
Um,
Because from what it seems, your other bullets there, it's not just bullets coated in silver. It's got like some writings on it, and her knuckle dusters, Lula's knuckle dusters. It was made from the silver powder found at that crash site, right? Wasn't exactly normal silver, is it?
Saul shakes his head and then looks back at Frank, and he begins. He etches that same sigil on his slate that was on the bullet, and he hands the slate over to Frank.
Can I do an arcane check to understand what the fuck it is?
A religion check would be more in.
Okay, we'll do a religion check then. Okay, let's go. Oh my god. Ugh, it's a 10. It was almost like a fucking 20.
It's a religious symbol.
That's exactly what I thought it would be. Frank will kind of look confused and look over to Saul and say, you want me to engrave it onto the axes or something? Or what's the... Yeah?
He nods emphatically.
In
fact, he looks a little bit doubtful at this point and moves to get the crucible and the silver and the axes.
Frank will like, all right. I'm assuming
So
he's gonna need a fire of some kind, right?
Mm-hmm.
To melt the thing. So
Yeah,
Frank will gesture him outside. And be like, all right, let's go make a fire. I'll help you set up a fire, and we'll get this done in no time.
Yeah, maybe I can do the blacksmithing check with like you giving me the help action, and I can get an advantage on this. That could be good.
Yeah.
So, with the sake of expediency in mind, as you guys are doing this, and she sees you starting a fire, she goes, like, what are you guys doing? And Frank, you have a chance to explain.
Oh, well, since you didn't have any silver, we made some of our. We're just gonna dip these axes in silver for whatever. It was his idea, really, but we're just doing some forging. No worries, we're not doing anything bad.
We like have a workplace, and she points at the chimney by her house, and she goes, "There's like a little station outside there. Why didn't you just ask?"
Oh, you.
Frank will just do his hands up like, He'll just begrudgingly like grabs like Saul and just go to wherever she points.
You notice that on the other side of the fireplace, it seems to be a chimney that's separated in the middle, and one half is obviously inside the house. The other half, there's a little workstation besides it, and it seems to be the sort of thing that's made for like doing horseshoes and shit like that. You know,
It's okay.
the
So-
thing that every farm kind of low key has.
We'll
Yeah,
make it work.
I think. So I think this will be good for Frank because I think he's going to see how Saul works, and it's kind of interesting. While he's, I think that this is going to be kind of like a rare exception. This might be the first time you hear something like this from Saul. While he's working, while he's like melting this silver down, you can hear it just under his breath, like mumbling in this language you don't understand. And
By the way, John would want to accompany them and
Sure.
watch them work and not help.
Yeah, that'd
back.
be fine. He seems to be mumbling, and it would seem to be like he's in like almost like a trance-like state, while he's kind of like mumbling these words over the silver while it's melting down.
Okay. Frank will kind of look with a little confusion at the fact that Saul is actually speaking, but continues to just help him finish whatever he's doing before doing anything else. He notices that you seem to be concentrating, and just as a mechanic himself, he knows how important that is, and to not be disturbed.
Absolutely. Once we're close to once he's like finished his prayers, and the silver has been melted down, he's going to dip the hand axes in the silver, and then he is going to while it's drying, he's going to take like a chisel and kind of like put in that symbol while the silver's cooling. So
So as he's doing this, Frank would like help him like do the accent in like the right way, and like kind of make remarks of no, you need to do it this way, then it attaches better, and just like little stuff that would make his craft a little bit better. And he'll give him one of his personal tools to do the chiseling with.
awesome.
And Saul can tell that it's like it's better than regular tools. This seems to be both like just more accurate and like lighter and stuff.
Beautiful. That you can have advantage on that for sure.
Awesome. So I know I'm proficient in this because I've done it before. How do you want me to do this? It's going to be like a dexterity check, intelligence, constitution.
So your Tinker's tool roll, your proficiency modifier, and your intelligence. Or whatever your primary crafting thing. I suppose it would be wisdom.
Okay.
Now for me, it's been intelligence when we're doing Tinker's tools.
For you, it would be intelligence. His crafting is a different
wisdom base.
Okay. Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah, it's more of like a monastic tradition than it is a
Okay.
craft.
I'm glad I had that advantage.
You're welcome.
Okay. That's going to be a 20 total.
30-20, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Otherwise, you would have been a 9.
The axes are a work of art. Is there anything else you wanted to do?
He's just going to sharpen them. And
they
hand them
are,
back.
for all intents purposes, silver.
Okay. All right, he's going to hand them. He's going to step out. He's going to bring them over to Aslan and hand them over.
Before this is upon seeing this, Frank will like put his hand out to be like, may I look? May I have a look? And then
he'll
kind of admire this craftsmanship and just not bad.
John looks it over and says, "Is there nothing else you can add to it?"
Does he ask Saul that, or
No, he says it to Frank as
Oh,
he's
okay.
holding it.
I'm assuming it would be Frank, yeah. Frank, like as he's still holding it and on his way to give it back, he'll look at John and be like, I guess the silver would do the trick, but I mean, we can always add a little extra if you want. But I think I think we gotta ask the big man, and I'll hand the thing back to Saul. And
Okay.
I'll bring him over. I'll bring him over to you, Aslan. He walks over to you with he's got them like both in his hands like this, and he just kind of hands them up like that towards you.
Imagine they're extra shiny now.
Takes the hand axes. Oh.
And Saul will bow his head in turn and go back to sit down. He'll roll a cigarette and start smoking.
As you guys have this peaceful moment, you hear as just chaos explodes from the fields, and you hear what sounds like horrific squeals and anger. You hear, "Oh my fucking god! Oh no!" And Mrs. Hill runs out of her house and starts. You hear a hammer shot go off. She runs to the next rifle, which you notice primary perched against the thing. No one there, but there was just a rifle there, perched in place. And she tries to take another shot off into the field. There definitely seems to be some chaos going on there.
Lula, as soon as Lula hears that chaos, she sprints outside while trying to light her lantern at the same time so that she can see what the fuck's going on as well. No dark vision.
John frowns and he touches his glasses and he says, "Are they slaughtering a pig or something?"
I don't think so.
Did we have a fire going in the barn or no?
No.
Probably not. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't start it because we just used the small forge that she had, right?
I'm gonna take a moment to light my torch as well and rush out.
Okay.
Wait, is it nighttime already?
Yeah.
I would assume so.
It's dark. So with that said, who of you are leaving the barn?
Lula.
And Saul.
So this happens after we all get back to the barn and have returned the axes, right?
This is after you're taking a quiet moment. Everyone's having, Saul is having a cigarette. Everyone's having a chill. You've eaten dinner.
So yeah, I mean, John would go with the rest to go help Mrs. Hill.
Okay, can I get perception rolls from everyone who's running outside, please?
Got it.
You can tell that Frank begrudgingly walks out after everybody else has left. So he'll definitely arrive last. He just sees everybody else running, and then he's like, oh.
I got a nat 20, guys. I got 25.
Nice.
Lula is in too much of a panic, and she sees not much. She rolled an 8.
Well, so all of you rolled the lower rolls. 14 is decent. You notice that in the fields, specifically from the corn, there is some sort of like spark, some sort of ignition, some sort of bright flame. And this causes a running reaction where in the fields, some sort of wild hog animals are just running amok and plying through the crops. And they seem to be stirred up by something. Saul notices specifically there are 3 dire warthogs in the field, and set off by something, they seem to be tearing through Mrs. Hill's crops.
Okay.
With your 20, you notice that the source of the flame seems to be somewhere within the cornfield.
Somewhere within the cornfield. Okay. All right. So
what do you see, Saul?
Are the hogs well lit? If I point them out, will they be able to see them because of the fire?
They're in the field. It's dark. There's lots of shadows. It's chaotic.
How far away are they from us?
Well, how about everybody opens up the Albay Rodeo link?
All right.
Let's do this.
Is that in the general chat? Where is that?
Sorry, I have to copy it again.
Here, I got it. I put it in general.
Got it. Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.
Yo, so I am blind. What is going on out there?
Mrs. Hill is here at her makeshift barricade shooting. You guys can place yourselves wherever you'd like to be. That's up to you. There is chaos in this general direction over here.
How
Okay.
how high is this drop here? Is that a drop?
About 5 feet. It's just a slight slope, maybe 10 feet.
All right. And are both her fields on fire?
No, there was some sort of ignition, some sort of spark from the cornfield in the south, and like the southeast. The top field is where the pigs are running amok, the dire warthogs.
Gotcha.
Oh, Lula, are you all the way down there?
Yeah, I rushed out in a panic. I see shit.
I was definitely sticking with you, so.
Okay.
Is Aslan gonna get any closer? 'Cause
All right, Soul, speak to me. What do you see?
You guys are really trying to make me pay for this, huh? That's okay. He's gonna try to point towards where he can see the warthogs and the source of the fire, but I don't know if he would do an exceptionally good job or not.
We'll see. Excuse me. Dude, just be able to see in the darkness. Dear Lord above.
He's definitely got the fire lit on his torch, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, some of us have dark vision.
yeah, that's pretty nice. I wish I had dark vision.
Same
Your
here.
Everyone
torch
who
or your
has dark
lantern?
vision is in the back, so.
I have 60 feet of dark vision. I should probably be able to see something.
The two humans just ran ahead into the darkness.
Yeah, we got torches lit, so it's not too big a deal. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Are we going?
It's 20 feet of bright light and then 20 feet of dim light. Is that it?
Yeah, that's my understanding of it. Yes. Are we going off initiative order, or are we still kind of in free roam?
Nothing started as of yet. The pigs are running amok in the field to the north of you guys.
Okay.
Everyone seems to have taken positions.
In that case, Saul is going to move to where the source of the flame started.
Okay.
Frank will yell out to Lula and be like, "What do you guys see over there?"
That's a good question. We're going towards the source of the flame and the chaos. We'll let you know.
As John comes up on Mrs. Hill, he like crouches behind the bale of hay, and he asks her, "What's going on?" As he peers out to the darkness with a frown. I guess towards the fires.
There's those damn warthogs, like, in the field. Something must have set them off.
You want us to kill them?
She takes another shot.
Aslan draws both of it. Newly enhanced.
Did I hear right? Did you say warthogs?
Frank will look at Aslan and kind of be like, "Let's go," and start moving towards his comrades.
Do I find anything?
Because do I have to keep in mind my walking speed but we're not in combat yet, right? So I can just kind of walk freely, or should I still keep my walking speed in mind?
Just keep it in mind.
Okay, because mine is like 25, so wouldn't be able to get very far. Probably be about here. And he's waved Aslan over to come with him as well.
Oh.
So upon seeing these warthogs and the shot that was just taken, Frank will also take a shot at the closest one.
Okay, you're gonna take a shot.
Yep. Take a shot
Roll
with
your
my gun.
roll
Takes
your
out
attack.
my gun.
And
We
as you
got
roll
it
your
on his
attack,
head.
I think it's best that we take a 10-minute break right there.
That sounds good. I
And
got
we'll be back.
All right. Sounds
Cool.
good.
We'll see you guys
Sam-
to see if Frank actually manages to hit.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Live again.
I'm a
Alright.
big pig. You're a big pig. Yep.
Hey.
And welcome back
Come
to
here,
the
piggy.
stream. With that, we're gonna start with Frank taking his shot. So please roll your attack.
Does a I think it's a 17.
17 hits.
17. That'll do 9 damage, fire damage.
9 fire damage. Oh, jeez.
9 fire damage.
They
So-
definitely didn't like that.
Firebolt out of his gun.
The first creature that you hit seemingly was running around chaotically at whatever seemed to spark them off, and now has definitely taken a notice that it's you. Squeals horrendously one more time, points its tusks at you, and goes "Wah!" and charges you directly. Fortunately for you, that means it's top of the round and initiative begins. Aslan, you're up.
Aslan has both his axes drawn in a rage. Charge the closest.
Okay.
Take a swing.
Okay.
Swings for 19 damage.
That's definitely a hit. That's the one that's closest to Saul. Okay, so that's the one that Frank just hit as well.
Yep.
19 damage, you say?
10 damage.
Oh, 10 damage. Okay, it's my bad.
19 to
Let's
hit.
calm down over
19 to
here.
hit. Yeah. So you just slice into this thing, blood spraying everywhere. This creature, wild fury in his eyes, definitely didn't enjoy that. That definitely wasn't comfortable.
Really?
Frank, you're up again.
Frank. So you can see Frank deploying his little cannon, flamethrower cannon that he still had from earlier, because it didn't die. So he dismantled it earlier, and you can see him from underneath his coat. You can see him placing something on the floor with and bolting something on top of it. And you guys can see this is the flamethrower he's been using since before. Is that gonna take up my action because I'm not like summoning it like normally, but because he was still alive, I'm just like
What,
kind of
to
placing it back.
deploy it? To
Yeah.
deploy
Yeah,
it? Yeah, you're
takes
using
up
an
your
object
action.
in that case, right?
Yeah. Well, it's not a free object interaction. It takes your action to deploy it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So
Am
yeah,
I wrong?
Well, the thing is that it takes an action to like to get it if I'm like making him again, but he's it's still the old one from last session.
Yeah, but it's about deploying it. Remember we discussed this? Like you put
Yeah.
the platform down and then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
set it up. That's
I
what
get
takes
it.
the action. It's not creating the thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then that's my action, and then once you've placed it, I'll use my bonus action to move it and do something with it.
Okay. So you've placed it for your action. Your bonus action is to move it, and what are you doing?
I will. So I want him to be. Why are you moving me?
That was an
That's not where I
accident. I'm
was.
sorry.
You can at least move me back where I was.
I
You're
wasn't
fucking with
sure
my
if it was
movement.
that one or the other
It
square.
was
I'm
that
so
one.
sorry.
Okay. So it was this. I want it here
Okay.
in this one, and then I'm gonna use its movement for it to go.
Well, here it goes. Where do you want to move it?
I want to move it here, and then flamethrower the closest. The guy that's the boar that's been hit. Before.
Okay.
Dex 13.
I need to roll for you. Natural 13, so it passes as a plus.
Okay, well, it takes
2,
half
so.
of 12.
Half
He's
of
gonna
12,
kill
so
it.
5.
6. No. It's half of
The
12.
creature.
6.
Yeah, sorry, 6. My bad. The creature now hit, squeals in pain, and it's been hit with fire, then chopped up, then hit with fire again. It's looking hurt. It's definitely bloody.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yes,
no?
it is. And then Lula next.
Okay, so I wanted to see what the source of the fire was. Do I see that over here?
I'll keep your plus 20 perception. You notice that whatever set the animals off definitely seems to be coming from the cornfield to the south. And on top of that, it was something next to the riverbank where there was an instantaneous spark of flame. It looked oddly similar to Frank's fireball, and there are singe marks still left in the cornfield, though there is no active flame.
Okay. All right, so clocking that, I am going to kind of tuck and roll over to the badly hurt boar.
Okay.
And I'm going to stab it with my Bowie knife.
Okay.
Okay, that is a 20, and that is going to be 8 points of damage.
30, 20?
Yes, it's a dirty 20.
Beautiful. You stab it in the side. This creature is something freaked it out, and it's since run amok. And then it noticed like itself getting shot with even more fire, and it's got even crazier. And now it's like looking like it's really regretting its life decisions, you know?
And I'm going to do an offhand attack.
Go for it.
Okay, 13.
That's a miss.
Okay, and I'm going to do flurry of blows to do another offhand attack. That's a 14.
That's a miss.
Okay, that's my turn.
That means it's Lula up next, and after Lula, John.
All right, and Luna is going to see the ball in sight, and she's going to sprint towards it and punt it in its jaw, trying to do some damage on its jaw.
We just need to delete this boar, please.
That's one of your unarmed strikes, right?
Yes.
So you know what to use for the fighting style. You get your D6. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just rolling a D6 quickly.
Like you wrote it down properly, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so 1 plus 3. So I rolled a 13.
That's a hit.
4 damage.
4 damage, not bad. You go and you kick this poor thing in the jaw.
Wait, a 14 hits now?
Was that a 14? I thought you said 16.
13. 1-3. 1-3.
What, 13? Okay, then I completely misheard. Yeah, no, that doesn't hit at all.
Okay, all right. Well, whoops.
Sorry, I took away your damage, but it was weird that a 14 for Saul didn't hit, and a 14 for Lula did hit. So I was like,
yeah,
I didn't hear 13. I heard 16 or 17. Sorry.
Oh well, since Lula is not really that good at seeing in the dark and fucking missed the hit, she's gonna try. She's gonna try it again.
Okay, we do got a torch, so if you're rolling with disadvantage, you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
No, it's just flavor text. Flavor text. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
And on the second attempt, it's a 22. 2-2.
Nice. Okay. That's definitely a hit.
1d. I'm rolling a 1d6.
I sure hope so.
So that's
why are you rolling a 1d6?
Because of the unarmed feat that I have.
Isn't it?
No, unarmed
is it
fighting
1d6?
style.
Okay.
Fighting style. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's 1 plus 3. 4 damage.
4 damage. Okay, so that's the 4 damage you're initially trying to do.
Yeah.
It all works out in the end.
Hell yeah. That's it. That's all I can do.
You hit this creature. It definitely didn't like being punted in the jaw, but it's still standing and it's angry. That means, John, you're up.
Okay, so this boar that's bloodied, John's gonna stand up and he's gonna put on a serious face. He's gonna lower his shades and he's gonna say, "Erametsinio makana," and then his eyes glow green and two beams shoot out, trying to strike it.
Go for it.
And he gets a 19 for 11 force damage.
Wow.
Damn.
Ooh, wow. Okay, how do you want to do it?
All right, so that happens, and basically the beam like strikes out, and it like strikes the floor first, but then it comes up, and it just like it doesn't cut him in half, but it like burns him on his flank, and the beast like stumbles aside and then just falls over,
So,
and stops moving.
as the eldritch beams like crawl across the beast's body, it sears open a giant hole in its side, and the creature just stumbles, and then its heavy frame falls to the ground.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And then that's his turn.
Okay, then. That means that it's me. The creatures in front of you make, first of all, a wild charge at Saul, which is a miss. They come at you. The creature comes at you with its two tusks and swiping them up in the air, makes a wild attack at you. Unfortunately, doing nothing. The next creature, seeing its first friend be struck down and then seeing its second friend run in, does a charge again at Saul, and that's. Sorry, 1 second. I'm trying to find what my two hit is. That's 14 total. 14 misses.
That's right.
14. 16 is your AC. Yeah, so 14 misses. The creature tries to gorge you again, and once again just charges through with its tusks. It's now somewhere between Lula and Saul, sort of wildly flailing out with its tusks.
Okay.
Things happen in the background that you guys have no idea about. Continue. It's back to the top of the round. Aslan's turn.
Fair enough.
Aslan will swing around Warthog. Strike it from.
Okay. Roll for your attack then.
Advantage.
Yes, sir. That's a hit. That's its AC. Nice. It didn't like that. That's for sure.
And a offhand.
Okay. Roll your attack. Unfortunate. Still 8 damage. Not bad at all. Okay. Frank, you're up. Saul next.
So, if I put my thing here, could I hit both of the boars without hitting my allies?
It's a cone, right?
So that's a no.
Definitely a no, homie. So
Okay.
a cone basically will hit the first square, then the next 2 squares, then the next 3 squares, the next 4 squares. That's how I roll it, but it depends on the angle. You can actually draw a cone with the draw tool, and if you can put it inside that cone and make it fit, then go ahead. But that's the cone that you're looking at right now, and it's sketchy at best, homie. Sketchy at best. You can just make them roll their dexterity if you don't like your teammates that much.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be a cool thing to do.
Are these warhogs large or medium-sized?
They're medium-sized creatures.
Okay.
They don't seem to be in any way magical or strange or abhorrent or anything like that. They're just big fuck off warthogs.
Sure.
Okay, so if I put it here, would it then work? Because it then goes that way. I'm not really good at just drawing tools, so somebody could like.
Without risking Aslan or Saul, I would say you can only hit one of them there. You can only hit the one that's directly in front of it. The cone will then dissipate out afterwards, unless you're willing to risk hitting Saul.
Just like this. Is the bar is is Aslan enraged? Is he visibly enraged?
He doesn't seem to be.
Guess I can also get Saul to move before my turn. So, because it's a bonus action, I can't hold that until Saul moves out of the way, do I?
Mm-mm.
So I guess from here he would just hit the one that's in front of it, right? Not no one else.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, well then I'll do that, and then Frank will go to about there.
He's gonna hit her crops also, right?
Oh,
Yep.
that shit already failed.
Frank doesn't give a fuck about the crops.
Yeah,
yeah.
he already full on hit
Frank,
the crap. What?
Frank will hit the bottom one with a firebolt and the one that's being flanked with the flamethrower. So let me roll to see if the firebolt hits. Firebolt definitely hits. But does baby dick damage? Does 2 damage.
To the bottom one?
Yeah, and then
Yeah, okay.
the other one takes. I don't know if it makes a save or not.
Fails the save for sure.
Okay, so it takes 8 fire damage.
8 fire damage. It definitely did not like that.
Yeah.
Hey.
And that's
Aslan and Saul, it's suddenly very warm in front of you.
Oh yeah,
Rather toasty.
yeah. All
You're
right.
welcome.
Is it my turn now?
If Frank's done, then yeah, and Luna next.
Frank is done. Yep.
Okay. So I'm sorry to slow things down. I just want to verify. I did see the source of the fire. I didn't see anyone there, right?
No.
Okay. So can you give me an idea of where it looked like the source of the fire was? I know you said it was down in the cornfield. Could you like mark it on the map for me?
I will put a little orange X. And it's over.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, our half orc hasn't done anything on your turn.
Yeah.
Or she was reloading her gun.
I am going to. Okay. I'm going to use a key point to do Step of the Wind.
Okay.
And that will allow me to disengage as a bonus action.
Does Step of the Wind allow that? Sorry.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
And let's see. I think I'm going to head back towards the barn to get like a better vantage point. I'm kind of concerned because it's clearly this is like some sort of sabotage job, and I feel like they're trying to distract us. So I'm going to head back to the barn to figure out what they're trying to distract us from. So I'm going to move.
Show me how far you get with your full movement.
Yes.
You also still have your action in case you want to dash.
Step of the Wind takes an action, right?
No,
Uh,
It's a
bonus
bonus
action.
Just to
action.
keep bonus
Yeah,
action. Okay, then you still have your
bonus
action. Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. I keep finding where I'm gonna go, and then like I look away from it. Okay, I got it. So right here is 40 feet,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll take a dash action. Oh, to move right here.
Give me a perception roll. I'll give it to you for free.
Okay.
As you're charging in.
Which one is the barn? The one without the chimney?
The one without the chimney, yeah.
Okay.
That's a 19.
A 19?
Mm-hmm.
As he runs by
You
Frank,
don't...
Frank will just go, where's he going?
Yeah.
You don't see anything, but the thatch on top of the barn, above the doorway, seems to be like slightly weighted down. And something's touching there.
Something's
and
touching.
You definitely see some sort of like shadow or something on top of the barn door.
Okay. All right.
Like over the door, but on top of the roof?
On the roof, but above the doorway.
Gotcha.
Okay. Like it's hanging down from the roof into the doorway?
Like something is putting weight on the thatch there.
Yeah,
okay,
like it's
but
invisible or something.
It's invisible.
Or it's hard to see.
Gotcha. Okay. Good to know. That's my turn. I'm sorry that was such a big one.
That's okay. I'm just gonna put a mysterious figure token.
Okay, sounds good.
On top of there.
Does Saul like react to this mysterious figure in any way, shape, or form?
I don't think that he's got enough. I think he's done a lot. That's if I could let him cry out again, I'll let him do that. But I feel like I've done a lot this turn. I think I might be pushing my luck. That's up to our DM.
Could he like point?
You can scream.
Yeah, I think he's gonna scream and point towards the barn.
Okay.
Alright, now it's Lula.
Lula is, once having heard that scream and looking back at Saul and him pointing at the barn, she's going to say, I'll catch up with you, Saul, just hang on. And she's going to attempt to strike the little piggy, the warthog that's in front of her, diagonal in front of her. And
little piggy.
She is going to miss both of her attacks because she rolled an 11 and she rolled a 6. So that's the end of her turn.
11, 11, what's your plus? You should have a plus 6 on that.
No, that he rolled a 6 plus 5. That's why he got an 11. Is he not flanking that one because of Aslan?
You have advantage.
Yeah, roll with advantage, bro.
Yeah, reroll both your attacks.
I'll just roll again.
Yeah, so just
okay.
The first, you could just say the first one missed, and then you can roll.
Yeah. Rolling for the second one, and
that reroll both of them.
I got 14.
Their AC is 15.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, I missed. I just missed.
Sorry.
You can roll one more time.
No. Yeah, you still get one more roll.
Yeah,
rolling again. Please, for the love of God, 17.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
Advantage coming in clutch.
Yep. Oh, advantage. So cancel. Advantage.
You already rolled.
Yeah. That's what that last roll was that advantage roll. So.
All right.
You gotta hit off.
I guess so. So for damage, I got 1. So 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 damage.
Okay.
And that's on the one that you're flanking with Aslan, right?
Yes.
Okay. The pig takes the hit, and the warthog definitely doesn't look happy. There's blood leaking from its wounds and anger in its eyes.
What you gonna do, Bacon?
I'm Bacon, yes.
And with that, I think it's John's turn, and then me.
So let's see. So John sees Saul run past him, and then he sees him, point and cry out. Does he see the figure? Does he see anything? He has dark vision up to 60 feet, and the figure is within that. It's 50 feet away.
Give me a perception roll with disadvantage if that's what you want to do.
Does that take my action to try and see him?
Like technically, rules as written, it would, because you have to take your action to perceive. But I feel like that's very rough.
Yeah.
So
That didn't sound logical.
if you don't want to use your movement or your bonus action, I'll let you give up one of them.
I'll give up my bonus action.
Okay.
All right, one moment.
With disadvantage, please.
Got a 7.
You don't. Because you're like confused what this guy is running for.
Okay. So yeah, John would be like, does something scare him away? He would think to himself, and then he would turn back towards the hogs, and he would shoot the hog closest to him with Eldritch Blast.
Roll your attack.
And he misses with a 9. It flies off into the darkness.
Just laser beam show off in the distance. Looks like a techno rave.
Yeah. And that's his turn.
Well, okay then. John tries to shoot off this laser beam. And as he does so, the first creature between Aslan and Lula turns around to Aslan, who just struck it so brutally, and makes the attack. 15 Aslan is 15 is your armor class, right? So that means I get to roll my damage. Beats it. Fuck yeah. Sorry, 1 second. That's 13 damage total. As the tusks slashing damage, so you get to halve it. The tusks tear into you and just dig into your side as this creature squeals in anger. The next creature will look at Lula and at the Aslan, and then at the source of the fire that's just been shooting in its general direction, and will charge at Frank. Lula gets an attack of opportunity.
Hell yeah. All right. In the attack of opportunity, I'm going to attack with both my hands since they're free, and she gets a 24. So that means I roll a 1d8 instead of a 1d6.
Yes, ma'am.
I rolled 9 damage.
Nice. Hitting the creature as it runs past. Unfortunately, despite the fact that you are able to strike out at it with your unarmed strike, it pulls a full charge on Frank. And in my second lucky roll this turn, I rolled another 17, which is exactly your armor class, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, my armor class is 18 because of my shield is a +1. Because of my infusion. I forgot because it doesn't say on my thing, but that's a custom thing. It's 18. Because I have my shield infused with a plus that causes it to be a +1. That's why I have 18 instead of 17. I just forgot to.
Is that how your infusion works?
Yeah, I infused the shield. So that means it has an extra +1 to its to AC because of it. I just can't do it in my character sheet for some reason. So
well then, as this creature charges you, and you figure it's about to be a mighty charge, you hold your shield up in the way, and this creature's tusks just tear off the side of the shield as it violently charges you. It's not going to be able to do any damage. I need a strength check, please.
Just regular strength, right?
Yeah. A saving throw.
Oh, saving throw. Well,
yeah.
It's the same. It's the same modifier.
I don't think I don't think you have proficiency. 14 just beats it. You're about to lose your footing, and you stumble backwards as this creature strikes your shield, but you're able to just hold and maintain it.
As he gets bashed, you can hear Frank go, "Oof!" It's not supposed to be that feminine, but we'll roll with it.
No, I like it. He's a little
That was not the right sound effect, but we'll roll with it. He just
he about had the wind knocked out of him. That's all.
Yep, exactly.
By the way, I think Lula's strike was supposed to be a crit. She got a 19 on the dice.
A natural 24. A natural 20. So it's not a.
No, on the 24 to hit. Like you
Yeah,
got 24, but you got a 19 on the dice. You're a champion fighter. That's a critical hit.
Lula's a champion
You have
fighter.
expanded crit range, right?
Oh,
Yes.
I don't think so. I don't think so yet.
You do.
Yeah, that
It's
might be a
level
level
3.
6. Is it level 3 or level 6?
my
It is
god!
level 3.
Okay.
pay attention, man.
Yeah, roll
My bad.
roll one more d8 to it.
Got it.
One more D8 to it. Make it
And-
nice and soft for Frank to fucking murder it.
There we
God
go.
damn it.
Some
2
more,
plus 3,
2 more
so
points
5
of
damage.
tenderization.
No, 5
He's
damage.
it'll
definitely
be
pounding
tendril.
that. He's definitely pulling that pork. That's all I'm saying. Lula's
Okay.
definitely pulling that pork.
It'll be tendril, all right.
So, with that, the hogs seem to have completed their assault. Saul, being the only one who can notice, the weight is taken off of the thatch, and the barn, it's not a door, it's more like a thing, seems to flip aside as something disappears within.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Is
Aslan, you're up.
Is Mrs. Hill doing anything?
Mrs. Hill takes a shot and hits the pig that's above, like that's charging at Frank,
Yeah.
and she does 1 damage. Great.
Nice.
She hit though. 19, not bad.
Yeah.
More like a
See?
graze.
Yeah, she more like grazed it. It's dark as well. She only has 30 feet of dark vision.
So Aslan will, as he gets his sides ripped by his dog's tusks, gonna retaliate with a swing from his right hand. Gonna go over the warthog, but then he'll swing from the left as a bit lower, and he'll hit the warthog on it
Nice. How much?
for 5 damage.
Beautiful. You slam your axe blade into the side of the warthog, and you just hear as if you're chopping through nicely smoked ribs.
6 damage.
5.
Why is it 5?
It doesn't account for my strength modifier on.
Oh, right. Right.
We had this issue last time.
Sorry.
Okay. Is that your turn? Frank and then Saul.
Frank will cast Thunder Wave.
Oof.
And
Good one.
so Frank will have his shield in his hand and just bash the shield with his gun that sends a shockwave out. And he's as he says, "Get the fuck away from me!" Dung! And I just I'm gonna need a con save 13.
Four plus 3 is still 7.
Heck yeah. That's great.
So
Nice.
it is pushed 10 feet away from me.
In exactly the opposite direction.
Is 10 just 10 feet away from me. So yeah, just exactly the opposite direction, I would assume. So yeah.
So it's there.
It's right back where it started.
Yep.
Yeah.
I told it to get the fuck away from me, and it did. 11 thunder damage as well.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful.
That's
Quick
awesome.
question: is the range on Thunder 5 feet or 10 feet?
You mean like the
Underwave?
Yeah.
The spell.
it's 15 feet.
15 feet cube. Lula, I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
Sorry, Lula.
Yeah, D6 happened.
Sorry,
Frank,
Lula.
Frank didn't want to get hit, man. Hey, you made it. That means
14.
you only take. That means you only take 5 damage.
Okay.
Round down, right? It was 11 damage.
Yeah.
So that's 4.
No, that's 5.
That's
Oh, 5. Yeah, sorry. I'm
suck
such
at
an
math
idiot.
today, bro.
I'm such an idiot. Yeah,
You
continue.
suck at math today.
I suck at
Jesus.
maths every day. Today is not specific.
Yeah. Okay.
Forgive us, guys. He's a musician.
with this development, could I get it to no? Because it's if it goes like there and it goes.
Spellcasters.
Yeah, I guess it'll I'll also just order the cone to be done to the closest one again.
Okay. So I need
Uh,
deck save, or do you roll an attack?
deck save, flamethrower, deck save.
So
13.
fail. It's a hard fail.
7 fire damage then.
He can't hit them both now.
No, because he. Well, I mean, I don't think so, right? Because
Unless he uses his bonus action to move, right?
Well, I mean, that depends. Is there a way I can hit them both without hitting any of my allies?
It's sketchy. You'd have to take a step back. Like if you move to the north, you kind of can.
Like here?
No, like
I mean, if
next to Aslan.
yeah, that's like that.
Yeah. Okay. I'll roll the second one.
Yeah.
Second one succeeds for sure.
Okay, so that's a 3. That's a then.
3. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's Frank's turn. Sol, you're up, and then Lula next.
All right, Saul is.
Frank is fucking up these crops, man.
Yeah, it's not good.
Half of the field is in flames already.
I don't think this will even matter, but is the ground very wet? Are there any muddy? Is there anything muddy around here?
The ground isn't particularly wet, but you are in the muck of the farmyard, and inside the sheep droppings and general messiness and mud that makes up this farmyard, there's 2 very light footprints stepping off of the roof and ducking into the doorway.
Okay. I'm going to scoop up a handful of mud in one hand. I'm basically going to toss. I'm going to use my free object interaction to like toss like the torch in front of like the barn so that I can be well lit in the barn.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to scoop up some mud and walk into the barn.
Okay. You walk into the barn. Doesn't look like anything's changed, or like immediately.
Okay. I had an idea of where it moved. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot. I'm gonna shoot straight through the barn. This is kind of a shot in the dark, but it's mostly to get my friends' attention and let them know that there's something going on.
Okay.
So I can roll to hit if you want, or we can just do the sound if you think that just wouldn't work. Or maybe advantage, I don't know.
You definitely don't have an idea of where it went. This thing slipped into the barn in front of you, and then from there, it sort of broke line of sight about anything moving.
Mm-hmm.
You can roll to attack with disadvantage if you want. I've also rolled a randomness die to see what I think happens.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to do that just in case I get lucky.
Rolls 2 20s.
Yeah, that'd be pretty wild, huh?
If you roll 2 20s, I'll let you have the hit straight up.
I'm just saying that would be like the clip of the week.
I got a 23 and a 21.
You are literally 1 point off.
Oh shit!
I gave whatever creature you're trying to find full cover because it makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's okay.
You are just below. You take the shot, but as you take the shot, you do see something slide across the floor and like hay shift around as whatever was in front of you clearly ducked out of the way of your shot, not expecting it to be so close.
Case, can I use my bonus action to sling mud at that movement?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to do an unarmed strike, but it's going to be for no damage.
Yep.
That is an 18.
Mud lands on some sort of figure in front of you.
Fuck yes. I love that. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
Is it like a tall figure or is it like towards the floor?
Some tall, lean humanoid figure.
that your turn?
Oh yeah, I'm about to fuck this guy up. But that's my turn.
All right, Lulu.
Lula and then John.
Man's playing the invisible man.
Well, Lula really wants to get rid of these piles of bacon, so she's going to attempt a double-handed strike on the one that's in front of her, to the right, on Albe. And both her attacks are... one is 10 and the other is 7. I think she missed horribly.
I thought it was the poison that was messing up Lula's day, but apparently it's just the dice.
So that's the end
You
of her
got very well.
turn.
Fighters suck, huh? John, you're up.
Where's the figure within the barn? From like a straight point, is there line of sight to him within the doorway, or?
I should have used the other map. No, the figure is, if you see like where the squares vaguely are, the figure is, I'm just going to put this symbol again, is towards the back of the barn, as if it was walking over towards where the halfling is laying on the pile of hay.
Okay.
Oh, it's moving towards the halfling. Oh.
So John is gonna run over here. Right, this square. He's gonna run right here. And then I'm gonna target it with suggestion. Can I do that? Can I see enough of it with the mud on it to do so?
So when it says a creature that you see, I would say by the nature of the spell, you literally have to actually see the creature that you're trying to suggest at. Does that seem reasonable? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, that's
like
fine.
You can see where it's standing. If you wanted to target like an attack spell at it, you could see where it was standing. But to charm it and to cast like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like
To like actually see its body. I get it.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
have to be able to look it in the eyes.
Not just like a silhouette.
Exactly. To cast enchantment magic, it would sort of require that you can see it, can enchant it.
So all right, so having seen Saul run past him and fire into the barn and sling mud and be shouting, is like creating all this commotion over here. John finally looks over and he sees that something's serious is happening. So he looks over his shoulder and he says, "Hey, there's something happening over here!" Shouting towards the gathered over by the boars, and then he like runs away from the bay hail and runs towards the barn, and he sees this figure. And he sees that Saul is fighting it, and he's gonna try and sneak a beam past him.
And I think I'm fully stepped into the barn. I only had him sitting out there because we're not properly in the barn. So I think I'm actually inside there, if that's okay.
Yeah, well, pick a square.
Okay. Yeah, I think like right here.
It's the
Maybe.
same effects. So he has like half cover, or which one? Is that where you are?
Yeah, I think so. I think I kind of stepped in and moved sideways because, and obviously that's up to the DM. I just want to try to make this easier. And
all right,
that's reasonable. It's not outside of your movement or anything.
All right, sweet.
Yeah,
so I
maybe
roll
he
at
was looking around
disadvantage,
for it.
and I get a 22.
Ooh.
At disadvantage.
Yeah.
At disadvantage, bro. What the fuck?
And I hit him for or I hit it or them or her for 9 force damage.
Okay. You managed to make the hit. I'm just double checking here. And you can see something like the force clearly hits into a creature's form, a humanoid creature's form, and does damage. You see like the sparks and the explosion of this arcane eldritch energy like hitting a figure. And then it stops. And nothing else happens really. You can still see the mud shaking around in the air where this figure is.
Okay. And it's still invisible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then that's his turn.
With that, then it's me. The two hogs will immediately charge out at the creatures assaulting them. I think the first is going to take that strike at Aslan again. Missing horribly. The second is going to take its strike at Lula for natural 19 for 24 total. I think that hits, right?
Oof.
You fucking asshole.
Yeah.
yeah. No, that hits. I'm doing a total of 11 slashing damage.
Oof.
Yikes.
Yeah, see, this is why Frank was like, "Get the fuck away from me."
Now, with that said, the muddy figure that Saul has now coated will move forward. It will step to the side, then step out, then step in. Then as it comes into range with Saul, the figure just seems to just do like a matrix dive backwards and takes a disengage action to get out of your melee range without taking the attack of opportunity. Then, seeing where John is, the figure is going to charge forward, and seemingly out of nowhere, John just feels as 3 strikes are taken towards him, all with advantage because the creature is still hidden. So that's... Sorry, give me 1 second. That's 21, that hits. That's 22, that hit. 23, sorry, that hits. And that's a natural 20.
I think you might be going down.
That's a problem because somebody might be out of spell slots.
Wait, did you say 20? Let me check my armor class real quick. Hold on. Oh,
Oh,
yeah, it's a 13.
It increased by 6.
So that's 9 damage on the first hit.
I can take it.
For now.
Plus,
Fine.
Narrator voice. He could not take it.
he could not take it. Plus, once per turn, I get to add sneak attack damage to that because it was with advantage. So that's 4, 9, 10, 11, 13 on the on that sneak attack. So 9 plus 13 just on the first hit.
All right, I'm fine. Just bloodied.
On the second hit, that's 6, 7, 8 damage.
Okay, I'm down.
Yeah, I was
Jesus
about to
Christ.
say, he didn't even get to the crit yet.
Yeah. The creature will make the strikes on you, and literally you feel as some bladed implement just strikes into your torso, and then again into your torso, and then kicks you to the ground as you fall as John falls unconscious.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
And then with that, bonus action used, still 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 feet of movement.
Oh my
The
God.
creature will move over there, into the fields, still invisible.
Okay. Fucking wild. All right.
So does Miss whatever her name is do anything?
No, she's reloading the hammer shot again, the hammer shot rifle.
Okay, she doesn't even react to the fact that this motherfucker just came out of a barn covered in mud and just knocked the fuck out of John.
She's still looking at the pigs in her field and you guys setting a fire, and she's busy shouting, "Oh my God, don't ruin all my crops!"
Is he still invisible after attacking John?
Yes, he is.
Oh.
And after being attacked, so it's not even
And after
concentration.
being attacked, this is not a regular invisibility spell. I'm afraid.
I don't think we were supposed.
And somehow has 3 attacks for some reason and is a rogue. Yeah, no, guys, we're fucked.
All right.
This is a TPK for this session, guys. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Aslan, let's go.
So it's Aslan's turn. Like,
Yep.
takes another swing with his hand axe. Hits it for 6 damage. The ribs.
Nice. That's a good hit.
he tries to take another hit from the other side as well, but
The creature is definitely looking like it's on its last legs. It was not happy about that. Is that your whole turn?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, you can start rolling your deck save already. We all know what Frank's about to do. Haha! Crit on my firebolt.
Oh shit!
Uh-huh.
Nice. Okay, so I have to roll deck saves, both of them. First one fails. Second one fails. Okay.
Okay, so the bottom one takes 7 fire damage from my crit firebolt, which is kind of shitty, but that's okay.
It happens.
And then they both failed the deck save, right?
Yeah.
So they take a total of 10 fire damage on top of that.
Beautiful. The first one, as this flame emits from this arcane cannon, just the first one goes up with the very, very delicious smell of bacon as this creature crisps to a bit and turns into pork crackling, falling unconscious right in front of Aslan.
Not dead, just unconscious.
It's dead. Oh no, straight up. You roasted this fucker, dude.
Okay. And the bottom one is still alive.
Still alive, but also looking really, really sorry for itself.
Yeah, so Frank's firebolt, he just like twirls his gun and then just shoots it and right in the fucking behind because he's with a firebolt.
Okay.
Scream while he just says, "Burn, bacon."
Okay. Yeah, no, that does a decent amount of damage. This thing is not looking happy, man.
Okay, well that's Frank's turn. Actually, does Frank notice that John has gone fucking down in the meantime or no?
I mean, if you turn around and look, you probably won't see it, actually. It's not on your line of sight.
Yeah, it's 5 feet up.
Yeah, it's 5 feet up and behind the hay bales.
It's 5 feet up, and you're only 4 feet tall with your hat.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, I mean, I guess if you don't want to be safe, that's fine with me.
Erupt.
No, I would
It's not that I don't want to be safe. I'm just stating the facts.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying I would assume that getting knocked, like being fucking stabbed or whatever, you would have some audible reaction that Frank might be able to hear.
I think my mic didn't pick it up, but you definitely like heard him scream out in excruciating pain for like half a second before he got knocked to the ground.
Well, yeah, then Frank is definitely going to use his movement to get closer to him because he hears this screeching going on.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Okay.
Saul, you're up. Lula next.
Saul, I think, is going to recognize that they are outclassed here. Just a couple of things I need to know about the barn real quick. Is the halfling still alive?
The halfling doesn't seem to have been touched.
Okay.
No.
Is there a door or a window to the north of me?
There is like a small little hole with like a wooden frame over it. It's something equating a window.
Okay. I am going to scoop up the halfling. I'm going to go through that north entrance. Or that north exit.
Like even yourself, you'd be able to like squeeze through it. With the halfling, you'd have to put one of you first, you know.
That's okay. I'll put
just throw him through the window.
Yeah, no, I'll push him through. I'll crawl out after him. We can say that it takes like double movement if you want, or how would you like to do that?
Double movement at least, yeah.
So that's 5 movement just to get up there, 10 movement to get onto the next.
So it's 10 movement to go and grab the halfling first.
So 10 movement to grab the halfling, 10-minute movement to move him out.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 20 movement to get him out. That leaves me 20 feet.
Unless you want to take a dash action.
Oh, I'm taking a dash action.
Okay, well then you should have more.
Oh, shit. Move 20 feet up there, and then I'm going to take a dash action to basically...
Another 40 feet would get you outside of the farmyard.
Yeah, I'm basically going to try to circle around. I'm probably, just for expediency, I'm probably like just a little bit north of here.
Okay.
And I've got the halfling over my shoulder.
Okay.
And that's going to be my turn.
Good to know. Lula, and then John, and then me again.
Lula is preparing her double-handed strike on the bacon in front of her. She realizes the vision, the edges of her vision are darkening up. She is not feeling too good after that last attack from the bacon. So she performs her attack and she rolls a. I'm not having a good day today. She rolls a 12. Okay, she tries again.
Not a good day, huh?
Yeah. Oh, 20. Thank God. 20.
Good.
The smell of bacon is helping you.
Rolling damage. Since it's a double-handed attack, it's 1d8, so
it's actually a
two
natural 20,
1d8s.
so it's a crit.
It's a natural 20, so
Yeah.
crit, double your
Yeah.
dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so rolling. And that is a 5 plus 3 is 8 damage.
Not bad.
So like a regular hit then.
Shit, yes. So how's the bacon looking?
How do you want to do it?
Hell yeah.
Oh, make it gruesome.
Oh yeah. Oh well. She's gonna put her fists together and she's gonna lift them above her head and she's gonna break down on the top of its skull, hoping to do some nice gory damage.
As you raise your hands above your head and come smashing down, Hulk smash style, you just collide with this creature's skull, and you feel like the blunt force trauma as you immediately cause a concussion, and you feel the brain shake against the skull, and then just it pops, and you see blood leak out of the creature's ears and its nose as it falls to the ground limply.
And as a bonus action, I use what is it called? Second Wind to gain some health back. Cause gee whiz, do I need it?
Okay.
Rolling a 1d10.
Why would you need something like that?
Because Lula's not having a good time. She gets 10 HP back.
Oh, that's not bad.
Good to know. Yeah, it's not bad at all.
And I still have some
Is it
movement
second
speed.
wind bonus action or no?
It's
a bonus action.
Yeah, that's
You choose your bonus action to attack twice because you miss your first hit and then you crit on the second.
Oh.
Wasn't that with advantage because of Aslan? Oh no, never mind. It's the wrong creature.
Never mind. Oh, so never. Okay, so I take that back.
That's okay.
It was pretty, but you can't use your second wind.
Yeah. That's pretty. Anyway, I still got movement speed, so I'm gonna go towards the commotion. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 30. And I end my turn.
Good to know. Okay, John, can I have a death saving throw, please?
Yes. Wait, it's a flat D10 or is it a con roll? I forget.
It's just a flat D20.
Flat D20.
Okay.
Anything above a 10 is a success.
17. I got one
That's
success.
You have one success.
Whew. Alright, that's my turn.
With that being your turn, Saul, just for convenience sake, I know that you're a little bit north of there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't notice anything, but from the roof above you, you hear just sort of a clap, like a faint, something like that. And then all around you, it was night before, but all around you, magical darkness seems to arise, as if mist and fog is encompassing you. And suddenly you're lost in a cloud of blindness.
Okay.
Anything else? Does that include like the buildings, the barn and the house, or is it like just everything outside the property?
It's everything around Saul for about a 15-foot radius.
Okay, heard.
Extensive.
Actually, I want to take that back, but I'm not gonna. Yep, no, that's what happens. Mrs. Hill will then go over to John and start like shaking him and trying to like, hey, are you like okay, man? And that's my turn.
Dying.
Aslan, you're up.
Assuming that pig is dead.
Yep. No, it's that pig has been wasted.
Dash over.
Okay.
Poke him with.
As he pokes him, John goes, ah! A little blood squirts out of his belly.
Oh God.
Oh
Real
God.
this time?
He puts his hand up and he says, it was always real!
Okay. Sorry. Hang in there. Good luck.
He says, save me, I'm the chosen one!
Okay. And he'll unclasp, I guess he'll clasp his bear pelt back and he'll throw it on. Sure. Rest it out.
Rest out.
Man's dying, but okay.
Okay, Aslan, is that your turn?
John's
Frank,
only
what are you doing?
response is squirming in pain.
Frank, what are you doing?
Frank will do the only thing he can do and take a dash action to come near John, and then kind of look at him and say to the others, "He needs help.
Yeah, I
Somebody,
helped him.
Somebody help him.
You can't even tell he's bleeding anymore.
He's got a blanket over him. There's blood patches forming on the blanket, you know.
Can I cast Mendic? No.
You don't have your action.
Oh, shit, that's funny. No, yeah, that's the end of Frank's turn. He has nothing else to do.
Saul, and then Lula. Saul, you're engulfed in a cloud of magical darkness.
Okay, I am going to run south. How thick is this darkness? How long does it take for me to get out of it?
I'm gonna say it disorientates you. Can I have a wisdom saving throw, please?
Sure, that's fair.
Man, we really should have had a long rest before this.
Dude, right?
Oh man. Like we haven't had a certain long rest since like last session. Frank is not doing great with this stuff. He needs some rest.
I like how
So-
Frank runs up and he's like, do something! And then like he does nothing.
13
I
total.
couldn't do anything, man. That was my action.
I know.
couldn't.
I know.
My stumpy little legs weren't fast enough to get to you and also do something.
Wait, no, it's just 11.
He needed to take a dash action.
Too funny.
You can. I'm gonna say your movement is halved in the confusion, but you can manage to get your way out of it just to the south, which will put you about where you are on the map.
Oh, where I'm at on the map? Okay.
Yeah, because we said you're just a bit to the north of that, right?
All right, cool. So I'm gonna use an action to dash.
A lot of dashing going on, guys.
Yeah, well, the only thing I have that might be better than this guy is my speed. So
Fingers crossed.
Oh wait, also,
I appreciate the enthusiasm.
for my I'm gonna move my thing from my bonus action from last time, so I'm gonna move it like here.
Do it.
I'm gonna run over here and looking on top of the house. Can I see this figure? And is the mud still there?
You can vaguely see mud in the night sky, but it's really difficult. You can just make it out.
He's gonna cry out again and point up at the top of the roof. And that's my turn, y'all. I've got this
All right.
halfling slung over my shoulder. Saul looks very scared. It's probably the scaredest you've ever seen him.
Well, I wish I could see it. I need to come closer.
Well, of course, we're being chased by the predator.
Yeah, pretty much. Like Jesus Christ.
Hey. Okay.
Where's an alien when you need one?
Maybe the true aliens were the friends we made along the way. Anyway.
What?
Okay.
Sorry.
Still my second favorite to Diego in the last campaign. Maybe the true friends were the people we lost along the way.
What?
I really like Aslan cheering up John Morello with the with the hang in there meme with the cat on the branch.
Such a
Hang in there, buddy.
great clip.
Okay. So with that being Saul's turn, Lula, you're up.
All right. Luna's gonna spend her. Sorry. Lula is going to. Well, I guess she heard someone come around here, so she's going to beeline it straight there, walking speed, and climb on top here. That should take all 30 feet of her movement speed.
With the climbing, yeah, sure.
With the climbing, yeah. And since she's on top, she'll see Saul. And is Saul pointing at the top of the roof?
Oh yeah, he's pointing at that motherfucker.
Oh, okay. Well, Lula's going to be very confused as to what the hell Saul was pointing at, but he screamed, so valid reason for Lula to actually use her goddamn hammer pistol once. So, it has a range of 40. So, sorry, I thought I disconnected for a second. So
someone did, but it wasn't you.
Okay. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So just makes it perfect. Rolling. Wow. What? It shows it's at night because Lula rolled a 5.
Lula rolled a fucking 1.
Oof, natural 1. Do you want to do something silly or do you want to just move on?
I just want to move on. Since the edges of Lula's vision are darker than normal at nighttime, she's feeling a little bit lightheaded. She's going to use her bonus action to get some health back using Second Wind.
Ew.
Now's the time.
There you go.
Okay,
So
John, you're up.
Should we just use the fucking 10 from last one?
Yeah.
John rolls a d20.
Yes, let's use the 10 from the last one.
Sorry about that,
Hey,
mate.
a 19.
Yeah.
Nearly. That's 2 saves.
The blanket seems to be helping.
Oh, yeah.
It's soaking up his blood. All right, that's his turn.
Aslan's confused face and is just like, I need to get out. I need to get through this for my main.
So John, you've successfully saved your death save. The other two standing there in front of. So Lula's standing next to Saul, looking up at the house.
Some elevator platform, yep.
On some elevator platform, yeah.
Yeah.
As you guys are looking at the elevated platform, you see whatever figure there seemed to be covered in mud for a second stand up. And then, as whatever arcane magic they had over them seems to fall away, you notice that the magic drops, and you notice a hooded figure standing on the rooftop, looking down at you with pure malice in their white eyes. Their face is masked. They have on one hand a blade that seems to be strapped to their forearm that sort of protrudes some sort of magical energy, and on the other hand a short sword. And they look down at you with pure anger and hatred. And as they look down at you, from behind, you guys both feel a poof. So that's 13 plus 7. So that's definitely a hit with 21. And then the second one is 11. So that's wrong. It's plus 7. That's 13, but I think that still misses. Yeah, misses Lula. So the first one, as John is standing there, he's hit with. So that's 12 points of acid damage, which just soaks into into Saul's. Sorry, not into John, into Saul's back. Just burns into
I
him.
was worried for a moment there. Oh my god. I
Going
was
for the
doing
kill
so
shot.
great.
Going for the kill shot.
A second ball of this horrible acidic stuff flies over Lula's head, just missing. But the first one burns into Saul's back with 8 plus 6, the 14, 14 plus another 6, 15 acid damage total, burning into Saul's back.
Oh, okay.
And as this acid just burns into your back and you feel this bolt strike you, the figure on the roof twitches. And with a twitch, bolts towards you. Standing right next to you, the figure takes the first swing. Not with advantage anymore. So that's 14 that misses. That's a 17 that hits. And that's a 9 plus 5. So that's 14 again. So 2 14,
I'm down.
17. So it hits you with the 1. I haven't even rolled damage yet.
Oh, I thought you did 14 damage.
No, sorry.
Okay.
I haven't rolled damage yet.
Okay. Sorry.
So that's 7 plus 4, so 11 damage total.
11 damage total. So I am down.
Okay, so you fall down. As you go down, this figure scoops up the halfling. This hooded masked figure scoops up the halfling in your arms after striking you, and with its bonus action, will take a dash.
Okay.
Halfling in arm, though, it can only get 15 feet away. 1, 2, 3. It can only get to about here, out of your guys' range. Wait, let me measure that again. 1 less. Yeah. With halfling in arm. And that's the end of my turn. Oh wait, halfling is a smaller creature, so it means it doesn't half the movement, does it?
Yes.
I haven't been having the movement, so he probably shouldn't either.
Yeah, okay. Well, then it gets to about where another hooded figure with a plague mask on and 2 horns seeming to protrude from its hood was standing, seemingly after just letting off these bolts of acid at you guys.
Oh, okay.
Saul's down?
Saul is down, dude.
Okay. That means it's Aslan, you're up.
Aslan will.
Frank will say to Aslan, "Go get him. I'll handle John."
Yeah, Aslan.
Um,
Time for you
Aslan
to
will
get
kind of
angry,
be
big
like.
boy.
You can see he's
Aslan
kind of hesitant.
Aslan probably turned around to see this hooded figure just slap the shit out of Saul and then take the halfling and run away.
So, Aslan's rage has dropped down and his head has cooled off a bit, and then he'll look at John and then he'll look at Saul. Oh.
No. No.
And then he'll try to he'll walk towards Saul and try to stabilize.
Do you have proficiency in medicine?
Yeah. But
Okay,
he's
go
out
for
of
it.
blankets is the Okay. I guess he'll try to stabilize it with a ripped up part of his tongue. It's a 13.
You can stabilize him. Saul doesn't have to roll death saving throws.
All right.
The tongue is really smelly.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
god.
I want a total wash.
So Frank, you're up.
Frank will try and stabilize John.
Roll your medicine check.
Oh, thank God. A 13 as well.
Stabilized, yeah. John, you're no longer rolling death saving throws. You're unconscious with 0 HP. but you're stable.
I guess Frank will use his cannon to. I just can't reach it. It sucks. Like they're just out of range. I guess I'll go here. And I mean, no, it's fine. Won't reach it. That's his turn.
That's your turn. Soul, you're up. You have zero HP. You're on the ground, but you are stable.
Okay.
You can roll to see if you magically go.
Yeah, you just roll it. Like you just roll a d20, right? Just to see.
Just to see, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to see.
Yeah, I got a 3.
You are on the ground, stable but unconscious.
Okay.
Lula, you're up.
Imagine if he just said you're unstable again. You start rolling death saves.
Well, Lula is going to scream out in panic and shock at Soul dropping like a fucking fuck. Soul! And she's gonna see the direction in which the figure dashed. Was Lula able to keep track of the figure?
The figure was not invisible anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, it's visible then.
Okay, sweet. So, since Lula can see the figure, so Lula's gonna give chase basically. She's gonna dash, and she can make it within her 60 feet to this figure, and she is going to double-handed strike with a bonus action on the guy with the blade.
Unfortunately, I don't think you can do that unless, Nick, you rule it as such. Because you usually have prerequisite, right, to attack with your bonus action is that you have to attack with your action.
Yeah, you're right.
You've taken a dash, so you can get there, but that's pretty much it.
Fair enough. I'll get there.
You can get there with your 60 feet. You've gone around. You've gone there. Are you gonna? I'm just saying, like, out of character, but this is because you're the newest player. If you move forward, like, to one step, so you're on either side, then you get an attack of opportunity on the other figure as well.
And
whereas
also,
where you are.
And also the flamethrower might not hit you instead.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
And then you could probably use. You said you had a bonus action, right?
Only if I attack, but yeah.
Could you use it to like take a dodge, or no? Was that? I'm not sure.
Fighter.
I'm not familiar with fighters.
Champion fighter, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So John.
So, in my turn.
All right, I roll a 20.
Yep.
I got a 2. Never mind.
You're stable, but still unconscious, unfortunately.
Just taking a nap. It's a power nap.
Lula, you ran up behind in your frustration and anger at John being hit. I'm just double checking how a spell works.
Oh, boy.
Sorry, 1 second.
Oh boy.
Otherwise, I think you're about to get messed up.
Yep, well, I
mean, he's
realized,
also still
but
holding a halfling, so that he doesn't exactly have hands free, does he?
but there's another one. So
There's another one.
This is
That
probably.
but I'm just saying that the one that's holding the halfling might not be able to do something. I'm
God,
trying to keep you
I'm
trying to
screwed.
keep you from being attacked twice, bro. Just
That being said, the hooded figure with the face covering, like with the bandana covering their face,
the one
looks
holding
at
the
you
halfling.
with horrendous white eyes, then pops, takes the disengage action, steps back, and dashes 60 feet away. The other one, seeing where you are, takes the disengage action, takes a step back, and then casts Expedio, slaps, and using a spell, is able to get 60 feet away. They both are now charging over the river. They can actually get 20 feet further than that. So they both are now just over the river, using their full movement.
And you can't see them because you don't have dark vision.
You don't have dark vision. They run off into the darkness.
Yeah, I'm fucking useless.
Well,
With
really
that, that's the end of my turn. Aslan, you're up. Is there anything else anybody wants to do? Otherwise, that's the combat effectively over.
Frank can go take a shot at him.
Go ahead.
So Frank would move.
What's your dark vision? You're
yeah,
gnome,
no, you
right?
can't.
60
I don't think
feet.
you can. 60 feet? No, you
Unless-
can't.
Unless you move closer. No, you don't have enough movement.
You can attack with you can still make your attack with disadvantage. You can't see them.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Wait,
Go ahead.
Let me just. I'll just. Actually, I'll just. That one. Yes. Come on. Come on, you stupid mouse. Disadvantage.
You just right click it. Yeah.
25.
At disadvantage.
I
Oh,
rolled
two
two
19s. Oh my god.
Two 19s.
Nice.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
I'm gonna roll a dice to see which one of them you hit. Okay, you hit the second one. Roll your damage.
Nine.
Sorry.
9.
Your flame off into the darkness, and you see it go. But that's pretty much it. You hear like a strike. Ah. But that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Freaking
Alright.
sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Firebolt, man, 120 feet.
That's nice.
So with that, the figures seem to escape off into the night. They have taken the patient and left you with 2 unconscious allies and a big mess in the field with 3 roasted pork bodies and a whole bunch of burning crops. Mrs. Hill runs out into the field with like a big blanket, just trying to put out what she can of her crops. Trying to stop the flame as much as possible.
Frank will go and help
panicking and screaming.
Yeah, you better do that.
her. Frank will go and help her for sure.
She's just saying, "To the base of the flames, the base." You can hear that there's clearly panic in her voice. This is not something she was expecting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lula screams out in frustration at the fact that they got away with the halfling.
Let's hear it then.
Well, my parents don't yell at me anyway.
Very good. I liked it. That was great.
Viggo Mortensen couldn't do better if he broke his toe. With that, you guys are left
Love
in the
it.
darkness, in the smog and smell of burning bacony flesh.
And our own blood.
And your own blood. It hasn't been a good evening for anyone.
Oh, it's Frank is fine. He hasn't been hit once.
Started out pretty strong there.
Frank has had a great night, apart from the fact that he burned some crops.
Is there anything anyone would like to do? There's still 2 of you lying unconscious on the floor.
I would like to regain consciousness.
10
How
minutes.
long until we come to?
Like
10
usually
minutes.
it's a short rest, so it should take an hour. But 10 minutes, a little bit of slapping around, some water thrown on your face, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Ugh.
Can we go finally take a long rest now, please?
Yeah, Saul doesn't look too good.
Yeah, John, he wouldn't he would say that he's unable to get up, and when you guys try move him, he groans in pain. And basically he would want for you guys to drag him to his sleeping spot that he thankfully already prepared.
I'm gonna
Mrs.
roll.
Hill. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I said I was gonna roll Constitution to see how tough I'm gonna be, because I want him to be tough, but I don't want him to be a Mary Sue either.
Be a tough guy.
These two.
Okay.
Clack.
He got an 18, so I think he's gonna pull himself up. He definitely cries out in pain as he gets up, but he's got just acid burns all down his back. I think his coat's ruined.
Your clothing is fucked up, yeah.
I think everything from the torso up is ruined. You probably see his upper body is just you could see beyond just the acid burns, like multiple like healed burns, like multiple scarrings of old.
Probably some whip marks as well.
Yeah, whiplashes.
Lots of scarring on the back for sure.
Lots of scarring on the back, and it looks like this is just the latest in a long, sordid history of pain.
Frank will take notice of this and look over to Saul and also towards Lula, be like, "You guys okay?" And then he goes over to Lula and says, "I'm sorry for getting you back there. I didn't want that thing anywhere near me."
Saul vomits.
Response?
He leans against the barn wall and vomits, and wanders into the barn and falls over.
Lula tries to assist Saul. Is Lula helping Saul?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah. So Lula is helping Saul while he's doing all that. And
Yeah.
it's just mumbling to herself in frustration and anger, saying, I should have been stronger, should have been faster. God damn it.
I do have a question. Is there any chance that Saul might recognize like these guys as like I'm sure he recognizes like their style, right? But maybe not. Would he recognize them as being a part of a certain order or maybe a rival order or
In the darkness, confusion, and chaos, you could see a hooded figure with a face covering, like a bandana covering their face. What you did see was dark charcoal skin and white, almost lilac pink, pale eyes piercing back at you before you were slashed and knocked unconscious.
right?
Could
No
could
particular
I-
symbols, and with your previous background, nothing that you would recognize, unfortunately.
Good to know.
Could I do an Arcana check to try and understand what the fuck kind of magic they used in like the weapon and stuff to try
Yep,
and see
go
if
ahead.
Frank, because Frank would have definitely taken an interest in that weapon. Let's see, Arcana. Damn it! I rolled an 8. It like hit the side of the screen and then stopped moving.
The bolt that hit them in the back seemed to not be a specific acid spell. It was some sort of chaotic magic, and you noticed that usually that sort of spell would be cast as a single thing. Instead, it seemed to be twinned, which means sorcery is at play.
Okay. So
Other than
Frank
that,
would,
yeah, no.
yeah, fair enough. Frank would look around to the rest of the crew and say, those guys, they were quite impressive. I don't think I've seen that type of firepower before.
Yeah, they were impressive, all right. Impressive in them pissing me the hell off. God damn them! Damn them!
John would be laying in his hay bed, and he's like, "Yeah, impressively painful."
Saul
Lutondo,
groans
you're gonna have to
over into his belly.
volume just a little bit, just so that the mic can pick up when you're doing stuff like that, because it cut out for the most part.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay,
go ahead, Nate.
Oh no, I had nothing to say. I was just laughing.
No, I said Saul. Sorry.
Sorry.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say Saul just groans in agreement and rolls over onto his belly, so his back doesn't have to touch the floor.
With that, in your recent defeat, you lay there as the nighttime ticks away into darkness and silence. And all of you, alone while you're falling asleep, contemplates the events of the night and what transpired and how you guys seem to get distracted and get your asses thoroughly handed to you by an invisible figure you couldn't even see, with some sort of very high level arcane ability.
No
The
idea what you're
events of
talking
the
about.
night are strange and kind of freak you guys out all a little bit. And as you fade into darkness and take your long rest, you're racked by nightmares of a hooded figure and of acid and fire in the fields. And when you wake up at dawn, Oh yeah.
It's a different blanket as well.
And as you wake up at dawn, you can all take a long rest,
Finally.
but you also feel the unease of being so far from where you came from and so unsure about what's going on. And with that, I'd like to end the session. Thank you, everybody who watched. All 5 of you, we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Same time next week. I'm excited to see everyone. I hope you're excited to see us.
Hell yeah.
See ya.
All right.
Thank
Thank you for
Goodbye.
watching.
Have a great